Yeah.
I'm ready for when they cry. I'm ready for it. Alright.
Nice.
That was so loud!
It wasn't my bad.
It was so loud. Okay, so I guess a short summary of the events of last stream is or the last couple streams, I guess, is we discovered that Mion has a twin sister, identical twin sister, that Keiichi, right off the bat, did not believe that that was actually a twin sister. He was like, no, that's Mion just pretending that she has a twin sister. So she can act different and all cute and stuff. So last stream, we discovered, no, Shion actually exists and she's a manipulative bitch.
Yeah, kinda. So yeah, at the very end of the last stream, we saw Shion and Mion in the same place at the same time, confirming that they are two distinct people.
Yes, Shion
And
is...
that threw Keiichi through a loop.
Yes, Shion is real, and she is evil, and I think she was intentionally making it seem like she was actually Mion pretending to be a different person. Because we learned that Mion had her feelings hurt recently by Keiichi. Rena, like, gave him a little, like, hint, like, Mion's, like, kind of upset with you. And he was like, what happened? And they went by that, like, toy store. Remember they got all, like, the little toys and stuff, but there were only enough for, like, a few people and not one for Mion. And Keiichi got one and was like, I don't want this, and gave it to Rena instead. Mion was upset about that. Like, of course she was upset about that. Because everybody else got a toy but her. And Keiichi was like, I'm gonna give it to Rena, who already got one. And it's like a fucking... So Shion and Keiichi...
In fair Keiichi,
yeah,
he did make mention of like, oh, well, this isn't really your thing, Mion. You're more into boyish things. And she was like, yep, ha,
yeah,
yep, that's me.
yeah.
And like, Keiichi's just a little teenage kid. Their brains aren't equipped to sleuth out those kinds of things.
Absolutely fair, yeah. But Keiichi kind of went on a date with Shion, and he thought she was Mion, and they went by that toy store, and she basically was like, will you buy that thing for me that, like, he didn't give to her before? And he was like, yeah, I'll do that. I'll make amends, basically. And he goes in to buy it and runs into Mion.
Who's working there?
Who works there?
In the words of my boyfriend, it's kind of fucked up to do that and make Mion ring up the toy that she wants for her sister.
Yep. Her sister who likes Keiichi. End of chapter 5. Let's go, baby. Yes. Chapter 2, chapter 5. Oh, we got the penis music right off the bat.
Why?
Because... Do we have new tips?
Just open the tips menu so I can see. Because I don't remember if we said we were gonna read tips at the start or...
I don't remember. I think none of them were relevant.
Well, details of the delinquent 3. Yeah, that one's not relevant. Let me just quickly go over It Hasn't Been a While, because I do have, like, a plot summary of all the tips.
Yes.
I just need to bring it up, which I should have done earlier.
No, don't worry.
Talk to the chat for a second.
Hey, chat, what's up? Hey, chat, what's up? Do you like my inventory? I like my inventory so much. The spinning items. 2 of them are from Silent Hill. If you can guess where the other one is from, congratulations. It's not that obscure, though.
This one's kind of important, and it's also mercifully quite short, so...
Oh, cool. Let's do it, then. Let's start. We gotta get back into the anime voice. Oh, that's you.
Stop saying it's been a while. We've seen each other every day up until yesterday, haven't we?
Whatever, if you say so, we'll go with that. Someone from Shion's house came to get me in a station wagon. I had initially refused, but Shion insisted, and so both my bicycle and I ended up stuffed in the car. Said car was currently driving across the single bumpy road leading to Hinamizawa. For goodness sake, Shion was at Mion's level at least, or maybe an even better actor. Either way, no matter what questions I pressed her with, she'd slip out of them like an eel. Still, you two look so alike. If you tied your hair back like Mion does, would you look exactly like her? Yes.
Who knows? That's probably what would happen. We're identical twins through and through. In the past, we could just change our clothes and no one would be the wiser. I remember we'd swap places at every opportunity and fooled a whole people.
The middle-aged driver wearing a black suit heaved a heavy sigh like he were a butler.
What's wrong, Kasai? That was a pretty deep sigh.
Excuse me. Oh, that's not Keiichi. That's very...
This is, Old Man Kasai. Have you ever played a Yakuza game?
No, but I'm familiar.
Any dialogue? Talk like a Yakuza.
Alright, I'll be Kasai, I guess. I don't know, like, how they sound in English. I've only ever heard them in Japanese.
That's fair. Just gruff, I guess.
Excuse
Not unkind, but gruff.
Excuse me. I was just thinking that you haven't changed. You could see many years of hardship on the man's face through the rearview mirror.
Anyway, Kei-chan, your house is right around here, right? Kasai doesn't know much about Hinamizawa aside from the road that goes to the Sonozaki main house. If you leave it to him, he'll take you all the way to Yaguchi.
Yaguchi? I don't...
Yaguchi!
Yaguchi! I don't want that. Excuse me. Could you stop at the narrow road at the next, right? I'll walk from there. He stopped the car at the desired place. The driver, Kasai-san, got my bike out of the trunk for me. Ah, sorry about that. Thank you very much for showing me home today. Oh, was it Kei-san? Your name, that is. Stop!
That is... Oh, I do not like that sprite. I've never seen this sprite before. Why is he so square?
He is very built like a fridge. I was saying that earlier about a different character.
He looks like an American? He does. He looks like if Lieutenant Surge from Pokemon was a normal person.
Oh, poor baby. Yes. You must be having various difficulties, but I believe she will grow tired soon, so please endure things until then. Oh. He gave me a deep, deep look of sympathy. This guy has definitely been dealing with the Sonozaki sisters ever since they were little kids. However, like Mion-san, she's a kind person at heart. So that means she'll be as much of a bother as Mion, right? The man's face froze in a smile, his reply lost. Hey, back me up here. Mion's a little shit. So are you.
Bye, Kei-chan. We'll see each other again soon. Say hi to my sister for me, too. Maybe I'll start going to Hinamizawa tomorrow.
Don't you dare! If you transfer it in, I'll transfer out to a school in Okinomiya.
Wow, that was really mean, Kei-chan.
You're really mean.
Yeah.
In a short beep of the horn, the man gave a little wave to me from the driver's seat. Then the car withdrew into the dark night roads, leaving dust in its wake. Man, this entire day made no sense. I ran into Mion while I was with Shion, and the former's expression, like a pigeon shot with a pellet gun, had finally begun to make a strong impression on me.
So yeah, mercifully short, and introduces Kasai.
Kasai.
I like Kasai. He's just a nice guy.
I should make him sound more like Lieutenant Surge. I hate how this one is so close to the screen.
She's coming closer.
Oh no.
Penis.
Anyway. Penis. Alright, let's continue. Go. Let us go. The next day. It was a strange day where Mion was desperate to regain her composure. Every time our eyes met, she would say that she had something to do or that she had to use the washroom and run off. Unable to just watch, Renaud was taking care of her the entire time. Oh, Satoko.
Mion-san. She's acting totally strange today.
I know the whole story, but it's hard to explain.
There are times when girls are emotionally unstable. Why are you laughing?
It's just true.
It's best to just leave her alone.
Okay.
There are times when girls are emotionally unstable.
There are times when girls are emotionally.
So, boys, come on. Come on.
I
on.
just really like that line. It's funny.
Turning around, I saw Rena calling me from the hallway. I wondered what it was.
Keiichi-kun, over here, over here.
Oh, my cursor is being captured. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh shit.
Oh no, give me a second. Oh no.
Hey, Space.
Hello, Space. I know, like, I wish I could make it so you can't see my cursor either. I
It's
wish.
fine. I'm not too bothered as long as you're not like fucking careening it all over the screen.
It's just when I'm reading, or when somebody else is reading, I like to like put it underneath the words.
I getcha. I getcha.
So I know that can be distracting. Oh, what is it calling me over like this? Is it a secret?
That is. It looks like it was a disaster.
Yeah.
I think that was more meant to be like, yeah.
I know, but
Yeah.
Yeah. Duh.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. It was a disaster. Anyway.
Slay.
Slay.
Yeah.
Mii-chan seemed pretty broken, but I somehow got her working again.
I'm surprised you managed it. How did you exactly?
Same way I do with the television.
Beat the shit out of her.
Just come at it from a 45-degree angle and hi-ya!
Oh, she was actually saying that. Saying that she made a chopping motion. You know, I can't tell if you're joking or not, right?
She'll be fine by tomorrow.
She's concussed a bit, but don't worry.
Also, there's something I want you to do, Keiichi-kun.
I didn't mean to do anything wrong, but I still feel guilty.
There's
I'm
something
listening.
I want you to do. Go to the store, buy a packet of M&Ms, and don't come out unless you have a PS2 copy of Bambi.
Why?
Listen to me, young man. I'm talking directly in your ear now.
It's me, boy. I'm the
Don't fail me against Shibian who knows what I'm talking about.
I knew it was a meme. It's me, boy. I'm the PS5.
Speaking to you inside your brain. Thanks. You see, Mii-chan is just going to pretend the last few days never happened.
That's healthy.
Never happened, huh? I see. Well, that's one way to run from it.
So, you see, Keiichi-kun, could you pretend to? Then Mii-chan can go back to normal.
That's fucked up. Just doing something as simple as that. Is it really going to be okay? No.
Please, until Mii-chan gets her feelings in order, just go with it.
We're going to wipe her memories now.
No.
Okay. I got it. Even though I shouldn't
What's
have...
playing? We're playing Higurashi When They Cry.
Chapter 2.
Episode 2.
Yeah. Even though I shouldn't have been at fault, for some reason I felt guilty. The one at fault here was the one who knew about the entire situation and pretended to be Mion for an entire day. Shion!
Yeah.
But she never once said that she was Mion. Ugh. What am I supposed to be angry at, Shion? Seeing me stomping the ground impatiently, Rena giggled.
Teehee.
Teehee?
But Keiichi-kun, you knew as well. That Mii-chan has some cute things about her.
Rena talked in a calm voice as her hair rustled in the wind. Yeah, I know that she'll never let it be boring.
Good.
Following this curt reply, Rena looked up at the sky and stretched.
As long as you realize that, Keiichi-kun, these past few days will soon be nothing more than a story to laugh about.
Copying Rena, I also began to stretch as I looked at the sky. The clear sky towered into the distance.
There's no club activities or anything today. I'm sorry, Keiichi-kun, but just for today, can you go home by yourself? It'll all be back to normal by tomorrow, so just for today. Okay?
If all it took for everything to go back to normal was to leave Mion alone for today, then it was an easy decision to make. Got it. I can't say it directly to Mion, so I'll say it to you. I still feel kind of guilty about it, so I want to apologize.
No. The root of the problem was Keiichi-kun saying something sensitive, right? So if you learn anything from this, you need to look a bit into gaining a sense of delicacy.
That's fair, yeah. Right. I'll try.
Actions, not apologies.
Yeah. That day was the shortest day of my life. Rena was talking to Mion while accompanying her around the entire time. It looked like a really fun conversation, so I reflexively thought about joining in, but I had to make a promise not to. It seemed that Mion was also trying her best to ignore me. So, likewise, I did my best to ignore her. For the first time in a while, I ate lunch alone. Mion and Rena ate theirs by themselves. As I let out a sigh in my ashen mood. I was reading Rika-chan and mood at the same time. Ashen mood. Rika-chan came over and patted me on the head.
Both Keiichi and me learned a whole lot.
I'd never say it like that. It made it sound like we were having romantic problems. I didn't like that one bit. Hopefully the teacher wouldn't notice and call us to the staff room after school or something.
I'm sure that Keiichi will grow up to be a wonderful adult. Pat, pat.
Rika-chan is the studious type, so maybe you'll grow up to be an amazingly wonderful adult?
Of course. When I grow up, I'll be super amazing.
I believe it.
When I grow up, I'll be an amazing lady, you know?
No matter how old you get, you'll still be a brat. You can put money on it.
What did you say? What did you say?
What did you say? Satoko snapped her fingers a wash basin fell from above, hitting me squarely in the head. She's magic. Ow! What do you think you're doing, Satoko? Bang, smash, pinch, squeeze. It was a day I could thoroughly appreciate the value of having friends who abuse me relentlessly. These children who will not let me know peace. They will not let me know peace. I just gotta say, it's kind of wild to me how often, like, since I've started, like, playing this game with you, people have been like, what? They made that anime into a game? And I'm like, I thought it was common knowledge that this was a visual novel first.
I thought that was common knowledge too.
Yeah. I don't fault these people for not knowing, but it's like I don't think it's very common to make a visual novel out of an anime. Because I mean,
yeah,
I don't know. That's just kind of weird.
I don't know why people who come to something for a visual medium that they can digest in that way would then want to do the same thing but worse and with more reading.
I mean, yeah. No, like, it just would feel like, I feel like making an anime, personally, of a visual novel is redundant in its own way, but I feel like making a visual novel of an anime is incredibly redundant. It's like people have made manga of anime in the past, but...
For sure.
But normally it's the other way around.
Yeah.
But...
And, like, that can work sometimes for making a manga out of an anime, because maybe you can expand on things that you didn't get to in the anime.
Yeah.
But also...
Same thing.
Not common.
Same thing with Fate. Was Fate a visual... Yeah, Fate was... I always thought Fate was only a visual novel. A few episodes of the anime with some of my friends in college, but with the way things were going, I feel like it originally being a VN makes so much sense. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. I can't... Like, if I didn't know that there was a VN of Higurashi, and I saw that there was a VN, I'd be like, oh, it was a VN first. But that's me personally. Yeah. I don't know. I that was just a silly aside I needed to point out.
Anyway, this is a fucked up line.
Let's go. Today was Saturday, so school ended in the blink of an eye.
School on a Saturday? That should be sacrilege.
I think they have longer, like, school weeks in Japan, and
yes, they do. They only have Sundays off.
And they have shorter days, and or I think they have longer vacations. So, like, in America, we only really have, like, we have summer vacation, which is, like, 3 months or 2 months. And then, like, we have winter break, which is, like, a week or 2. And then we have spring break, which is a week. In Japan, they have big breaks between, like, every semester, as far as I know. Anyway, that's a little aside, I think.
Yeah, in England we have 6 weeks for our summer holiday. Summer vacation, sorry, the British left out there.
Mhm.
And we don't get spring break. But what we do get is half term, which every half term we just get like a week off. Usually coinciding with like a bank holiday or something.
See, I think that makes more sense than having a huge, like, summer break. And, like, I feel like having, like, I don't know, like, a week or 2 off, like, more often makes more sense. But I don't know.
Yeah. The UK government are looking to shorten the 6-week break to 4 weeks, which I think is fucking insane.
That is
because
insane.
if you don't have those extra 2 weeks, it's still going to be the heat mid of summer, and nobody's going to want to work or do anything.
Yeah. All right, let's continue. It really felt good to go home with the sun so high in the sky. On any other day, our club would have been up to mischief during our ample after-school time, but today, Rika-chan had a rehearsal for tomorrow's Watanagashi to go to. Ooh, tomorrow! How's that going, Rika-chan? Do you have it down in practice?
I'll try harder than last year. You were so exhausted and sweaty after last year's ceremony.
She'll look far more fit for the role this year. Please look forward to the fruits of her training.
The Watanagashi festival everyone had been talking about was tomorrow, wasn't it? The festival being in June felt a little early to me, but the onset of summer came quickly this year, so it fit the image of a summer festival pretty well.
Okay, we'll be off then.
Look forward to tomorrow. Good day to you all.
Satoko and Rika-chan waved to us energetically, then left. You know, I never asked. Where's the festival happening anyway? I don't remember there being anywhere around here that seemed suited for hosting one.
They do it at the
Furude Shrine. I always get tripped up by Furude.
We went there for a walk one day, remember?
But we didn't go there for a picnic, so it seems.
Oh, we did not.
It was that place with the really good view.
Oh, right, I remember. There was a shrine all the way up on that hill, wasn't there? It seemed far too grand for Hanamizawa.
There's a great meeting hall in the shrine too. The older people get together there and sing karaoke or practice calligraphy from time to time. It's more like a recreational facility than a simple shrine.
That's such a large swing of activities.
It really is, yeah.
Calligraphy.
Yeah. Karaoke and calligraphy. They're practically the same. I see. I guess it makes sense that it looks so grand then.
Mia-chan, is your family gonna help set up today?
Yep, we have male hands for that. Wow, I'm sexist. Most of our relatives come from town to help.
Male hands, huh? Well, I mean, I have nothing to do at home today, so something about male hands, huh? Kill
Male
me.
hands, huh?
Male hands, huh? Would it be a problem if I squirmed my way in there to help out too?
Huh? You want to help us, Kei-chan?
Not if it'll bother you all. I was just kind of interested. We had bond dances and other festivals in the town I used to live in, but I didn't even know where they took place, much less wanted to help. You could say that I had absolutely no connection to the region. Having come to Hinamizawa, though, it really made me feel like this place was a home that I had returned to. Before I knew it, I harbored a little interest in the small community activity of preparing for a festival the day before.
I wonder if you'll be able to, Keiji-kun. There's a lot of building tents and setting up chairs. I hear it's pretty hard physical labor.
I mean, I wouldn't be doing it alone, right? The more hands we have, the faster it'll go. Mion looked happy to hear that, but at the same time her expression was complex, tinged with hesitation. Yeah, that is the face of somebody... someone tinged with hesitation. Brenna gave her the last push for me.
It's decided then. You should go for it, Keiichi-kun. He's all yours, Mii-chan. Put him through the ringer.
Well, I can't argue with a recommendation from Rena. Okay then. Go home first, put on some work clothes, and come to the shrine. Oh, and you might want to bring a towel to wipe your sweat, too. Got it. I may look scrawny, but I actually quite like breaking a sweat under the hot sun. Careful you don't hurt your back, okay? Right, enough of my old man spiel. I'll go to the shrine, too, as soon as I've changed.
Mii-chan, you do your best too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Mion waved vigorously to us and left. Wow, I can read. As far as I could tell from her gallant retreating figure, she seemed to have recovered from the weak state she had been in yesterday. Yes.
Girls are quick to get over things. Mii-chan is already fine.
Right. Her switching back to normal so cleanly really makes it easy for me to talk to her.
It was kind of funny though, wasn't it? Kind of like Cinderella. Like, you can't meet her anymore once the magic wears off.
Rena began to giggle a fair bit in amusement. Did she like this sort of thing? Incidentally, me going along with it gave me a weird, hard-to-describe feeling. Did I turn myself into a plaything, or did they do it for me? If you think it's so funny, then you should try pretending to be a different Rena, too.
Yeah, that sounds like fun. Keiichi-kun, what kind of Rena would you want to meet?
One with big tits!
Humongous
Oh!
boobies.
I can't do that.
She'd be great at cooking and make me lunch and come see me in the mornings.
I do that already.
I pull Rena's head into a tight grip, then start to pet it. You're Rena Ryugu, right? Rena, not Reina. So you just stay as Rena forever, got it?
Thanks.
Whoa there, chat. Whoa.
Mungo bong dongas!
Humongous bongabagaloos.
Have fun helping set up the festival.
God damn. You got it. Let's meet up tomorrow. I got changed right away, and slinging a towel around my neck like Mion suggested, I set off for the shrine.
That towel's gonna be gross by the time you get home.
Nasty! I want to help set up a festival. That sounds fun.
It does sound fun.
At the shrine, there were more people than you'd imagine even live in Hinamizawa there. All cordoning off areas and setting up tent frameworks, chatting amongst themselves as they did so. What'd you say?
Cordoning.
Cordoning. I don't know that word. I don't know words.
That's okay. That's why I teach you.
Yay! Alright, where is Mion? The liveliness of the throng didn't make it easy to look for her. I searched around as if I already worked there, and suddenly the principal called out to me. You want to be? Yeah.
If it isn't Maya Barakun, interesting. Have you come to help with the Watanagashi setup?
Yeah! Ha ha! Hello. Yes, I was just wondering if there was anything I could help with.
How commendable your attitude is. Feel free to sweat to your heart's content. Yeah!
I'm so happy the principal was Heidegger. Spurred on by the principal, I came upon a group of people setting up tents. Whoa, what's this? It's Meibara-chan. Why are you calling him Chan? He's not a little baby. Did you come all this way to help us? I hadn't found Mion yet, but I supposed I'd just get in her way if I ran into her. Yeah, I'm here to help. Just tell me where you need me. You young ones have all the vitality. Here, grab some work gloves. Ever built a tent before? No, never. I've been camping before, but I've never built a tent. Continuity. Delighting in teaching a new skill to someone younger, plenty of people happily taught me all sorts of things.
Judging by the timeline of his life, he would have been pretty young when he went out camping with his folks.
That's fair, yeah. He probably didn't, yeah. Okay, Gid, go inside the tent and tie up just the cords for the top. After that, we'll stand it up and tie the rest of them. Butterfly knots are okay, right? There and there. All done? Do you want to read the man, actually?
Sure. All done. We're standing it up. 1, 2, 3.
What was once nothing more than a collapsed tent was raised on 4 splendid legs before my eyes in mere moments. Whoa. Seeing it put together like this is actually pretty moving.
Come on, no time to stare and wonder. We've got a lot more to do. We packed the tents into the truck, so go get them from there. They're heavy, so take someone with you.
No, I'm good. I may look scrawny, but I'm actually pretty strong. Oh, whoa! They look light enough, so I thought they were, but they're heavy!
That's why I told you to have someone help. Come on.
Said the man, lifting it up with a grunt and taking it away under his arm. Either I'm weak or these old guys all have superhuman strength.
Let's go. You're the youngest one here, so we're gonna make you sweat for it. Do your best. Beer after work is the best.
Do not
Please don't
give-
get this child beer.
Do not give... I'm a minor.
I'm neurodivergent and a minor.
I am literally neurodivergent and a minor. Sweat dripped from my body. I had been fully and completely absorbed in helping them. I would never have thought the cold barley tea from the Woman's Society could taste this delicious.
Oh man, you know a shower thought I had the other day? Why do we call people who are underage minors, but we don't call people who are over the age limit majors?
I don't know. I
Weird,
don't know.
right?
That is weird.
Anyway.
You're so young. Make sure you drink a lot. Thank you.
And you can piss like a racehorse later.
It was then that I realized a crowd had formed near the shrine a ways off. When I took a closer look, I saw a girl dressed in shrine maiden garb and a handful of old men looking like they were preparing for the ceremony together. Is that Rika-chan? Hey, Rika-chan! Do you best! Do you best! I shouted and it seemed like she heard me. Rika-chan, positively exploding with vitality, answered with a smile. The older guys with me watched Rika-chan as well, with distant gazes. Chama. I actually don't know what that one means.
I'll look it up.
Rika-chama is doing a great job. She seems far more used to this than she did last year. Honorifics, I think is what they're called. The old lady who gave me the tea clasped what looked like prayer beads in her hands and said, Rika-sama, we thank you, we thank you. Sama is like... master? It's like... I don't know.
Some honorifics have baby talk versions, mispronunciation stereotypically associated with small children and cuteness, and more frequently used in popular entertainment than in everyday speech.
So is
The
chama...
baby talk version of Sama is Chama.
Okay, that's interesting. Just like
she's
that.
she's a little baby.
She's a little baby master. Okay. Because that's what Sama essentially means, something like that. And just like that, began to respectfully pray to her. It's like it's a revere. You're revering someone. They are, I don't know. It's hard to describe. Wika-chama. Huh?
Wika-chama.
I just remembered that they called it the Furude Shrine. Wasn't Rika-chan's full name Rika Furude? The man standing next to me answered my question.
That's right. Rika-chama's Furude clan is ancient and honorable, and has worshipped Oyashiro-sama for generations.
Huh. I'd always gotten the feeling she wasn't quite your average person, but it turned out she was from an esteemed family. They all are. Oh, well, except Ren.
Yeah, Rena's just chilling.
Rena's just chilling.
After her father, who was the shrine priest, died the year before last, she's really been doing her best to learn the rituals. I wish the priest could have been here to see how wonderfully she's grown up.
What? Rika-chan's father passed away?
Okay, break time is over. Let's get the chairs we're not using back to the gym in Okinomiya. Maki-san, pull the truck around here and take a few people with you. Alright, Mayabara-kun, let's get to work on one last job.
You're gonna make me do more work? I can't tell if they know I'm a minor or not, but the older men all cheer me on. Of course they could tell, you're like 13, encouraging me to do my best, and that the beer will be great.
Yeah, you're not the man that you think you look like.
You're
KHD.
not... Kei-chan, working hard, I see.
Working hard or hardly working.
I passed by Mion. She was carrying a big cardboard box. It looked like she was right in the middle of working as well. Judging by the sweat seeping into her shirt, it seemed I wasn't the only one with their hands full. Yeah, I'm working my ass off. You work hard too. The beer's gonna be great. I'm gonna have beer. We were worked to the bone until the sun began to set and it started cooling off. And then we transition to the sun setting. Or to the next scene. Yep, sun setting.
Pretty.
They hue shifted that motherfucker. It was soon full-fledged. Get hue shifted. Idiot. It was soon full-fledged night, and the clear sound of the Higurashi eased the moderate pain I felt. The older guys began their night before drinking party in a tent a fair bit off, causing quite a ruckus. The shrine grounds, on the other hand, had turned into a lonely road, tickled by the cool evening breeze, despite being so festive just a little while ago. The wind felt good. I leaned on one of the stone guardian dogs at the front of the shrine. I gave my legs a good stretch as I let my mind wander, and suddenly a paper cup filled with barley tea was thrust before me. Oh, that's you.
Gee, just when I was typing. Kei-chan, great work! Here's some tea for you.
You're so considerate. Thanks, me. Her voice sounded exactly the same, but it felt somehow different. Wait, you're...
It's me!
It's
Hiya!
me.
It's Shion. Don't go giving Mion all the credit. She isn't considerate at all. Don't get us confused, okay?
Shion, you little... Now that I've caught you, you're not getting away.
It was your mistake, Kei-chan. I've never said I was anyone other than Shion.
Ugh. I guess I can't argue with that.
That's right. You're no match for my older sister, so I can't let you be a match for me either. Anyway, your tea. It's gonna get warm. Come on, please cheer up. I'm trying to make it up to you with this tea. Take it. It's definitely not poisoned.
Well, she did come all the way here to give it to me. I guess I'll accept it. I took the cup and downed it in one gulp. And then suddenly, I heard a loud shout and it got stuck in my throat. Which one is it this time? Is it the real Mion? Shion! Why are you hanging out with Kei-chan again?
And just dredging up your trauma. Because unlike you, I'm very considerate. Kei-chan was so sweaty, I couldn't leave him alone, so I brought him tea. By the way, why are you holding 2 cups of tea?
Mion's face went bright red and she tried to hide the paper cups behind her back. Aww.
Well, this is...
There's no way you, such a rough, timid, good sister of mine, would ever briskly bring a male classmate tea, is there? Wench.
Wow.
Hussy. Harlot.
Awful.
So, what are they? What are those 2 cups of tea?
I was really thirsty. Is there... Well,
Right. I was just so thirsty. I figured I'd drink too. She actually went there.
That's so like you! Come on, chug, 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 chug,
And
chug,
Shion cheered
chug,
at her.
chug.
Mion downed both the cups of tea, one after the other.
What a fabulous drink that was! I expected nothing less from you.
Bring a male classmate tea to hold with his male hands?
Male hands, huh?
Male hands.
Kei-chan, you give her a hand too.
Wait,
Male hands.
with your... Give her a male hand. Wait, suddenly the situation has gotten unbelievable. Mion doesn't usually get manipulated so easily like that. You know what the male hand line reminds me of? It reminds me of Beastars and how often, like, Legoshi would say shit like, as a male, it is my duty.
Yeah.
And I was always like, chill out, Legoshi. Oh man. Wait, suddenly the situation has gotten unbelievable. Mion doesn't usually get manipulated so easily like that. I've known for a while now, but Shion is terrifying. Mion, you can't hold your own against Shion? I hate her! And lately I hate her even more! Just then I heard the snap of a camera shutter. Tomitake! And girl!
And woman.
Woman!
Okay, so I hate this sprite because her dress, even though it's not like protruding, it looks like a pregnancy dress to me.
It kinda does, yeah.
Like, that's the sort of dress that a woman would wear when she's pregnant.
Tomitake!
Also, yes, the beefcake.
He's so beefy. I miss his tummy, though.
Yeah. Yes! Oh my god, yes! All of the Tomitake sprites that aren't Ryukishi's own take away his fucking tummy, and it makes me sad. Where's the love for fat men like me? Hello?
Sheep!
Hello?
Sheep!
So dark here.
I'm interested in his male hand.
Well, they're right there, holding that camera so sensually.
I forget what voice I did for woman.
How
I can
can I describe her?
maybe something like Rika, but less less high pitched. I don't know. I can do something evil or some shit like.
Well, here's the thing. You
yeah.
will know exactly what voice to do for her by the end of this episode.
Okay, I'll figure it out. All right.
I was Tomitake, right?
Yes, you were.
Good evening. The festival's coming up tomorrow. Thanks for all your hard work setting up today. I fucked that up.
All right, let me figure it out. Whatever comes out, that's what it's gonna be.
Good evening. Oh, Shion-chan? I am just Mion.
All right, never mind.
It's okay.
Let me be evil-ish.
It's quite unusual for you to come here.
I wouldn't say she's evil. She's just sort of like middle-aged woman with a smooth voice.
Smooth voice. All right, I'll try smoother.
Oh, hey! It's Tomitake and Takano-san.
Good evening. It's been a while, hasn't it?
So you're that transfer student I've been hearing about, Keiichi Mayabara-kun, right? You really did a bang-up job today. I'm impressed.
I feel like I've seen this photographer guy before. Have we met before?
I'm glad you remembered. We've passed many times on the road, Keiichi-kun. I'm Tomitake. I'm a freelancing photographer from Tokyo.
Then do you recognize me?
I'm sorry, but I don't.
She's Mio Takano-san. Do you remember when you were at the doctor's office when you still had a cold, Kei-chan? Mio-san is one of the nurses who works there. Call me Takano. I'm pleased to meet you. Tell me when you're coming in for treatment. I'll prepare a huge needle for you.
Unnecessary.
That's very thoughtful of you. Tomitake-san seemed to be quite entertained at the Sonozaki twins being in the same place, and he took picture after picture.
Weird. I've heard about them, but this is the first time I've actually seen a pair of identical twins.
Bro.
I love the term. I love the use of "I've heard about them" as if it's like a myth that he's just now confirming.
How can you be in your late 20s and have never seen an identical twin?
He's into his 30s, I think.
He was like late...
early 30s.
Okay, yeah. Early 30s, late 20s.
Yeah, roughly around there. You really do look exactly alike. That's what it means.
We're not just alike on the outside. See, our underwear matches too.
Shion, what the fuck?
She's so weird.
You idiot! What the heck are you doing?
Things have never been as lively as when the two of them are together.
She's a freak.
She's a freak! I thought they were exactly the same. Oh! I thought they were exactly the same at first, but I started to get a handle on which one was which. Mion is Mion, and Shion, well, she seems a far better actor than Mion is, or was. In the first place, somebody that could spurn Mion so easily wouldn't have shown such weakness to those Angel Mort. I don't know why I had to say it like that. I just don't like that. It just feels gross.
Yeah, there's a lot of fat phobia.
It's a bit.
She is a fat man.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe that would make him more comfortable to poke fun. I don't know. If that was
Maybe.
If
Who
that
knows?
Yeah, if that was the case, then that cowardly behavior from that day was all a complete act.
They were even more alike when they were little. I heard even their parents had a hard time telling which was which.
That's really easy to imagine. I totally understand what they must have gone through. Takano gave me a kind of an odd look, but explaining would have been a pain, so I didn't bother.
Tomitake, are you going straight to Tokyo? Straight back to Tokyo after you get your pictures of the festival?
Yep. I'd rather just stay here forever.
Uh.
Silly adult things, that's all.
Ha!
Haha.
Ha!
I hope your photos win a fabulous prize soon. I've been praying for it.
To those of you who didn't join for Chapter 1, the reason I was freaking out at Tomitake-san, and Takano, I guess, Tomitake-san died in the first chapter.
Yep. Police found him with his fingers in his own throat. He clawed it out.
Yep.
And Takano went missing.
Takano went missing, yep. You already read that, right? Or did you?
Yep.
Alright.
Thanks. Next time I come, I'll bring the pictures I took of all of you today.
Meibara-kun, you did a lot of work today. You must be tired from all the physical labor you're not used to.
Well, I'm tired, but it was still pretty fun.
Ah, youth. I'm so jealous. Now I'm
Calm
pregnant.
down, you're like 30.
Now I'm pregnant. And I will never get my youth back.
Sorry.
So sad.
Takano-san smiled with an adult elegance that no one in my circle of friends possessed. The wind caught her hair. She gives off an intelligent beauty. Oh my god, it's tasty!
I love how the music cuts out the second he pops into frame.
I got jump scared by him.
Ah, why? Hello, everyone.
That was
distinctly not blue here.
Oh my god, it was like DDLC jump scare. It seemed like our merry crowd was standing out. This time, an overweight older man addressed us. And again,
Detective Delicious.
it was someone I thought I knew. If I recall correctly, he's a policeman, isn't he?
Oh, Delicious-san.
Oishi-san. Good evening. Doing a preliminary security inspection for tomorrow?
Something like that. Oh, if it isn't Tomitake-kun, it's certainly been a while. I'm honored you remembered my name. You really do love Hinamizawa, don't you? The apartments around here are far cheaper than the ones in Tokyo. You should just move here and get it over with. I know a realtor I could introduce you to. I appreciate the thought. I'd very much like to follow up on that. Alright, everyone, have a good year. And Happy New Year to the Sonozaki twins, too. Happy New Year, Detective Oishi.
We appreciate your work. We'd like to end this year's festival with the least amount of inconvenience possible.
Why is Shion so evil now? So serious.
That's pretty strict on me.
Detective Oishi left us with a low laugh and headed off to talk to some police officers standing a ways away. I gave Mion a glance and saw her making an annoyed face as if she were glaring bullets at someone she hated.
Yeah. It'd be nice if the police didn't have anything to do during Watanagashi this year.
You like this place too, don't you?
Oh, you mean to say you dislike it, Jiro-san? I quite enjoy such fantastic stories, you know. Especially with the times being so dry and uninteresting.
The curse of Oyashiro-sama, you mean?
Curse. Tomitake-san used a troubling word. Then suddenly someone tugged on my arm and the music suddenly got creepy.
Scary. Kei-chan, I'm pretty hungry. Want to go to the tent with the drinks and have some candy and sweets?
I'm up for that. I've gotten a little hungry as well.
Okay, let's go.
A moment later, Shion said something to Takano and Tomitake that stung my ears and gave me a start. Uh-oh.
I wonder who will die and who will disappear this year.
I pulled back from Mion's grip and stopped abruptly. Shion, what did you just say? It felt like the air around us dried out all of a sudden.
Let's go, Kei-chan. They're talking about something silly anyway.
You still haven't told Kei-chan?
I make it a point not to spread stories like that.
Shion's cold and quiet tone and Mion's harsh voice were quite the contrast. Hey, wait, hold on. What are you talking about? If you know something, then tell me. It doesn't feel right being the only one left out, you know? I don't understand this. Someone explain it to me. However, Mion didn't seem to be at all willing to grant my request. She squeezed my hand in hers a bit, but then she realized I would hold my ground on this topic. She let go. I'm gonna go to the drinking tent first then. If you don't come soon, Kei-chan, there won't be any left for you. I get it already. I'll be there soon. I want to know about murder. Mion left, trotting towards a particularly noisy tent on the other side of the shrine grounds. Before she got there, she stopped and turned back around. I showed no signs of going after her, though, so she ran off.
I could tell you if you haven't heard, I suppose. But it might be smarter not to ask and go with her to eat dessert.
Hey now, you've already gotten my full attention here. I'm not going to leave without asking at this point.
I think Kei-chan has the right to hear this too. My sister was just stealing that from you.
Shion's voice was bristling with thorns, as if somehow blaming Mion. What on earth are you talking about? I don't really like people acting so self-important. Takano-san, realizing how prepared I was, looked across the group. After confirming that there were no objections, she opened her mouth. Do you believe in curses, Meibara-kun? Curses? I think they're interesting, but I don't really... I felt their cynical stares and winced. It was like they were telling me it was stranger not to believe in curses.
You're not, Kei-chan. Curses are just superstition. It's only natural that you wouldn't believe in them.
Mm-hmm. Besides, you can take all the time you need to decide whether to believe in curses after you've heard us through, said Takano-san, giving a little smile. They're trying to scare me. At least, that's what it feels like.
Start. Keiichi-kun, do you know about the Hinamizawa Dam project?
Oh yeah, the other day at Angel Mort. Shion, or Mion rather, told me all about it. You mean the plan for the giant dam that would flood all of Hinamizawa, right?
That's right. Residents of the town banded together to fight it, and a fierce battle with the government unfolded.
I've heard that too. The entire village united, using all the power at their disposal. Mass media, political influence, and other things, and fought the country. The way Mion described it made it sound like a boast. That was Shion! That was Shion! At Angel Mort. Okay, anyway.
Oh, you know quite a bit about it. Yes, you're right. It's practically an epic tale, how just 1,000 or so villagers banded together and rejected the government's plans.
Did you hear this from my sister?
Okay, maybe it wasn't Shion.
She likes those kind of epics, you know?
Yeah, she told me.
There was, however, an office for the Hinamizawa residents' opposition faction. It was this shrine.
You know, the assembly hall? That's where it used to be. Now that the whole thing is over, the senior citizens just use it for group activities. At the time, though, it was their last bastion. I'm gonna snooze the ad. There we go. Okay. Takano-san explained this, pointing a finger towards the assembly hall. I had been carrying things in and out of there all day. I mean, I would understand if they put an office like that in the mayor's house or something, but having an office on shrine grounds made it feel kind of like a base camp for Sengoku period warriors. Yeah.
It was basically the mindset, though. Placing the main force in the shrine dedicated to Oyashiro-sama, Hinamizawa's guardian deity, was like a prayer for victory.
Oyashiro-sama. That was definitely it. They mentioned Oyashiro-sama's curse before. Is it the same Oyashiro-sama? No, it's a different one. Do you know about... Oh, that's you.
Me.
My bad. It was brown.
I understand.
Yeah.
Do you know about Oyashiro-sama, Keiichi-kun? It's the name of the god worshipped at this shrine. It's said that he protects all of Hinamizawa.
Well, I don't really know much about him.
I see. I think Takano-san knows more about the rest. Tag, you're it.
Well, that is generally the whole story. Oyashiro-sama is the ancient god passed down in Hinamizawa, and the villagers say he has been protecting the sanctuary from the poisons of the outside world. So essentially, he's a basic, standard guardian deity. I guess you can find that sort of god anywhere you go.
There's research into whether worshipping Oyashiro-sama is a manifestation of a kind of elitism, too. What I mean is that the worshippers might think of themselves as chosen people. Believing yourself chosen, a nationalistic belief that you are part of a superior race, or that you're a special clan chosen by the gods. They believe that they're a superior clan, so they believe strongly in cooperating with others, but they also end up being exclusionary towards other clans. I won't go into Oh, this is Takano. Oh, why doesn't it have her name? Oh.
Narration is hard.
I won't go into too much detail, but it's the sort of national religious ideas that lead to war. Of course, that goes for Japan, too. Oh. I am confused. A long time ago, the people of Hinamizawa strongly believed themselves different from humans, that they were above them. They believed that interaction with the lower world would sully their souls. So everyone believed that if one from the lower world came to the village, they would be sullied and suffer the wrath of Oyashiro-sama. Apparently that kept everyone away.
The villages that hate outsiders come up all the time in mystery novels. This was once a classic example of a xenophobic village.
Well, they'll deny it to preserve their pride. It was all a long time ago, after all. Things are different now.
Shion followed up quickly, having sensed the thorns in Tomitake-san's words. Tomitake-san, embarrassed at what he said, scratched at his head. So the shrine worships Oyashiro-sama, thinks of Hinamizawa as holy ground, and as a symbol of their traditional hatred of the outside world. I get it. So that's why they chose the shrine of Hinamizawa's guardian spirit as their base of operations, to resist the sullied dam construction project that came from the outside. Correct, smiled Takano, pleased. She must dislike stupid people.
Superstition, every last bit of it. The villagers gave everything, desperate to oppose the dam's construction. And right in the midst of it, the incident drove home the finishing blow.
The incident. Oyashiro-sama's curse.
The person managing the construction site of the Hinamizawa Dam was murdered. 4 years ago, I believe. It took the newspapers by storm. Do you remember it?
No, not really.
He had a fight with a subordinate and was beaten to death with a pickaxe.
Ugh.
His limbs and head were torn off and the remains disposed of.
They never found the arm.
One of those dismemberment homicides. They were all the rage at one point.
All the rage. Such a gruesome incident. It was just that, an incident. A person caused the incident, after all. Should they really put it down to the curse? Then the following year, the man who had organized Hinamizawa's group of dam proponents, he fell from a cliff while on vacation and died. Apparently, it was an accident.
Of course, most of Hinamizawa was hostile toward him. The police were all over the case as if it were a homicide, but in the end, it was judged to have been an accident.
Now it's an accident. This is the most curse-like one, but it's still far-fetched. And then, on the next year, this time the priest of the shrine contracted an unknown illness and suddenly died.
This may sound a little rude, but the old priest was kind of a wait-and-see type. The whole village was in uproar about the dam, but he just kind of didn't seem to want to bother. The shrine was the symbol of the opposition movement, and its priest, well, his attitude worked against it.
I got jump scared.
Oh, cat jump scare.
I got cat jump scared. Thank you, Himble, for the
Man.
22 months. Hello, how are you? I hope you are doing well. We're learning some spook shit. Yippee.
The villagers at the time had hoped for a leader, but their hopes were betrayed. Some people were apparently pretty angry, too. So at the time, all the older people were like, "This is Oyashiro-sama's curse." That's what they said.
It did seem like every year, dam-related people the village had resentment towards were dying. It was pretty creepy.
Oh, and also, it's interesting. All these incidents and accidents always happen on the night of the Watanagashi festival.
What? See? starting to sound like a curse now, isn't it?
Before we continue, they mentioned the priest, and I don't know if they're going to mention it explicitly, but if we put 2 and 2 together with the dots of what we learned earlier about Rika's father, that was her dad.
Yeah, I figured that. Yeah. And also,
Just for anyone in chat who isn't paying full attention.
also, Himble, do not worry. You are fine. Interrupting is fine.
Yeah, especially if you're giving us money.
Yeah.
Then the year after that, in other words, last year, the sister-in-law of the man who was the leader of the dam proponents, the one who accidentally died, was discovered dead, having been beaten to death. Of course, they caught that criminal.
See? It really seems like a curse, huh?
4 years in a row. Each one of the incidents and accidents were relatively commonplace, but every single one of them happening on the night of the festival, worshipping Oyashiro-sama, that's not normal.
The old folks have been blindly accepting Oyashiro-sama's curse because of the incidents these past few years. Even younger people, too. At first they thought it was stupid, but now nobody makes fun of it.
Yeah, I can see where she's coming from. Even me. Even if I didn't think there was a curse at all. Thinking about all the incidents like this makes me feel like maybe it's real.
For example, just look at the preparations for the festival you were doing today. Everything might have gone crazy during the battle against the dam, but just a few years ago, the Watanagashi festival was never this well attended.
Well, I guess you're right. If we didn't have Oyashiro-sama to talk about, we wouldn't all be coming to a festival like this, huh? There's a lot of people who say that infidels might be punished, so they really need to go to Oyashiro-sama's festival.
Shio nodded as if she were mocking herself.
So how about now? Keiichi-kun, you're starting to get the feeling that maybe, just maybe, the curse is real, aren't you?
I mean, you can't just laugh off people related to the dam construction project all dying like that. If even I feel like this now, then the more superstitious members of the village must feel stronger than that. Well, I mean, I still don't think there's a curse. I can understand those that believe there is, though.
Well, okay, Chan. You can really keep a cool head about this.
Shion grinned, realizing I'd rejected the curse.
If it's neither a curse nor a coincidence, then what should we make of these incidents?
Takano-san said, smiling playfully as if posing a riddle. Neither a curse nor a coincidence, but every year someone dies. What should we make of that, then? Tomitake-san, catching on to the fact that I had no idea what to make of it, opened his mouth and came to my aid.
Takano-san is suggesting that it might be the work of real people.
That makes it scarier. Simple process of elimination would have gotten me there. I was a little taken aback at not having realized the answer immediately.
Well, think about it. If it's neither a curse nor coincidence, then people must be willingly carrying it out. It's the only explanation, right?
Takano-san pressed on. I smiled bitterly in spite of myself. Here I was, just a few minutes ago, thinking the very concept of a curse was absolutely absurd. When she suggested it was someone's doing, I ended up thinking there wasn't any way it could be a person. But Takano-san was right. It was either a curse or it was a person's doing. If unrealistic things like curses didn't exist, then the obvious next step would be to start thinking it was people behind it. But if that was the case, I glanced at Shion.
If the culprit is a person, then they'd have to be someone from Hinamizawa. That's what the police officer, Wishi-san, is thinking right now, too.
Hey, wait! That can't be. I thought I now knew the reason Mion didn't want to talk about this. Because she killed people. No. If Oyashiro-sama's curse really existed, then that's fine. It would be divine judgment for the dam project business. However, if Oyashiro-sama's curse didn't exist, which it obviously didn't, then the culprit would most likely be someone from Hinamizawa. The villagers had worked desperately to oppose the dam construction project. I knew they had used all sorts of methods to fight against it. If one of those methods was, maybe...
People whisper that Oyashiro-sama's curse could be the doing of a secret group in the dam resistance movement.
Shion dryly put words to my exact thoughts. Of course I didn't expect it. She was from Hinamizawa, so I didn't think she'd come out and say it herself.
If you calm down and think about it, anyone would come to the same conclusion. There wouldn't be a motive for anyone but people who benefit from opposing the dam project, right?
I guess that's true. Admitting to the existence of a darker side of the dam conflict would be rude to Mion, who spoke of it so highly. So I couldn't just accept Shion's seemingly logical viewpoint.
One more thing. The police probably don't know this. There's proof that someone from Hinamizawa committed those crimes, and the people of Hinamizawa know it.
What? Shion rebukes me to keep my voice down.
Shh!
Sorry, but this proof, what is it?
It's the fact that one person dies and one more person disappears.
One more person disappears? Did that mean that someone besides the one who died from the curse was a sacrifice? What do you mean by disappear? They just vanish and you never see them again?
That's right. Suddenly and without a trace.
As she spoke, Shion pretended to do a trick with her hands, like she were making a magician's hat disappear. One dies a mysterious death and one disappears, never to be seen again. A strange vanishing act. But then why? How does that equate to someone from Hinamizawa being the culprit? Well, actually, Hinamizawa has this one really old legend. It's about how people offer sacrifices to Oyashido-sama to calm his wrath. Sacrifices? Yes. They say they used to wrap a living person up in a bamboo mat and let them slowly sink down into a bottomless swamp. I remember the bottomless swamp. I don't remember wrapping people up in a bamboo mat from last time.
That's new information.
That's new information. Takano-san, though explaining something pretty terrible, has a look of glee on her face as she did so. As far as I can glean from the literature, it actually took 3 days and 3 nights for them to sink. See, even people a long time ago liked symbolism. As the body sunk, Oyashiro-sama's anger would be quelled. Both were submerged into the deep. Takano-san was the only one laughing at this. Was she telling a joke or something? Shion didn't move to deny it, but I felt a difference in temperature between her cool expression and Takano-san's.
This whole conversation... Well, I think you can imagine after hearing it, but it's the secret history of Hinamizawa. Everyone who has been in Hinamizawa for a long time knows it, but they don't talk about it. Takano-san's not from here, but she knows quite a lot. She really likes local history, folk legends, stuff like that. She learned about it all by herself, too.
I'm really not all that amazing. Just curious, that's all. Like a child. I just want to see scary things for the fun of it. Tomitake-san laughed, a little bit embarrassed. Wait a minute. What does that mean? The other person who disappears during the incidents, you're saying they're offered as sacrifice? Yeah. Shion answers in one word before anyone else can speak. Someone dies, then someone disappears.
Well, whether they actually get sacrificed or not is a different issue. But every time something happened in the past, one person died and the other person disappeared. For example, the first one where the dam site manager was killed. Apparently one of the people responsible for that still hasn't been arrested.
Couldn't that just mean he managed to get away? I don't see why we should treat him as a sacrifice.
Well, that's basically what I think too. There was also the year after that with the leader of the dam proponents.
I just love Takano, chilling there, hee hee.
She loves this shit. She's sickos about it.
She's a sicko. You said he fell from a cliff and died while on vacation, right? Apparently his wife fell as well. The police investigated fervently, but they were never able to find the wife's corpse. The river under the cliff was actually pretty high at the time, though. She could have just been buried under the sand at the bottom of some lake downstream or something. The perpetrator of...
horrible way to go.
Yeah, the perpetrator of a dismemberment like that wouldn't want to be caught, so they'd be desperate to run away and hide, too. I thought I'd heard about cases where the corpse wouldn't surface after the person drowned in a swelled river like that. She vanished because of an unfortunate accident, but I still didn't see the connection to sacrifices. If you took each of the past incidents in turn, none of the disappearances evoked that terrifying of an image.
The year after that, with the priest suddenly falling ill and dying, is much clearer. His wife left a suicide note. They found it in the house the night the priest died. It said something along the lines of quelling Oyashida-sama's wrath through her death.
The curse. It seems to turn up in this one, though.
Well, we may never know the truth about the matter. The swamp the wife drowned herself in was giant bottomless one Takano mentioned before. The police investigated it, but all they could find were several of her possessions. They never found the corpse. The police suspect it was a faked suicide, and they're still investigating it now.
Someone dies every year, and in the same way, someone goes missing every year. Is she trying to tell me that everyone who vanished was kidnapped by some extremely efficient means and dumped into the bottomless swamp, still alive and drowned to death? But a curse, that's unbelievable in its own right.
And the next year, what was it, the damn proponent's sister-in-law? She was killed.
So at that time, someone else vanished?
Someone did disappear. It was a boy around my age named Satoshi Hojo.
Satoshi.
He is the nephew by marriage of the woman killed.
And also brother to Satoko? Related?
Related.
Related. Okay. Shion cut in with a slightly strong tone of voice. She knew the boy who had disappeared pretty well. At least that's the vibe I was getting.
Well, that about sums everything up. One person always dies, and one person always suddenly disappears.
Leaving the suddenness aside, the fact was that each incident involved one person disappearing. So that means the first person who dies is because of Oyashiro-sama's curse, and the second person who vanishes is because the villagers sacrificed them? Is that it?
Kei-chan, there is no curse. Somebody kills the first person under the guise of the curse, and somebody takes away the second person to be a sacrifice.
But Shion, that means the criminals in the village.
That's what I've been guessing from the start. It's pretty shocking, though, you know? We live in the Showa period. It's kind of hard to believe people are committing murder like it's nothing, using some ancient justifications, huh?
It didn't have anything to do with our discussion, but I got the feeling that maybe Shion didn't like Hinamizawa very much. Which is why she doesn't live there. Mion enjoyed talking about Hinamizawa and its epic tales. So she had avoided talking about Oyashiro-sama's curse, which didn't paint Hinamizawa in a good light no matter how you looked at it. She was trying not to give me a bad impression of the village, so she didn't say anything. Shion, on the other hand, was somehow different. She wasn't rejecting the concept of a curse to purge Hinamizawa of this bad impression, but rather because she strongly believed that a member of the village was the criminal behind this. Her conviction seemed a bit removed from the tight sense of community held by the people of Hinamizawa. Once upon a time, they looked so alike, you could mistake one for the other. But talking to her now, I was getting a powerful feeling that Shion had a completely different personality than Mion. Than everyone else. They all think someone from Hinamizawa did it, right? Neither Shion nor Takano-san answered that. The deafening silence told me all that needed to be said. Then let me ask another question. If someone from Hinamizawa is the culprit, then who is it? Neither Shion nor Takano-san had a reply to that question either. Though it may have been rude to ask, I had hoped they wouldn't have one. The reason I asked was to argue that their explanation that the culprit was from Hinamizawa was nothing more than one possibility. Shion caught on to my plan. She gave a pained smile at my petty spite and opened her mouth to speak.
Said really just amounts to circumstantial evidence anyway. If any of us knew who it really was, we'd have gotten them into police hands already.
As would anybody. Then what about Takano-san? She too smiled dryly as Shion had and opened her own mouth.
Well, I'd like to clear one thing up. I'm not a detective or anything, alright? In all honesty, I'm not really interested in who the culprit is.
Takano-san, you sure are a handful.
Tomitake-san gives a bitter laugh at her surprising opinion on the matter.
You see, I just like cruel and atrocious ancient traditions and fairy tales. I only enjoy them from a curious onlooker's perspective. So
In
even
the modern day, she'd be a true crime girly.
Oh my god, yeah. So even for the string of incidents, it's not so much finding out who the culprit is, but enjoying thinking about how the old traditions displayed by the incidents themselves still seems to have some pretty deep roots around here. Though she described herself as nothing more than a curious onlooker, her smile was as sharp as the tip of a blade. Women like her felt very strange and a little scary to me. Maybe it's just that I was in fearful awe of the person whose emotions I couldn't comprehend.
I don't think any of this is interesting at all. The Watanakashi festival is coming up tomorrow, but I don't want anyone to die or disappear.
Tomorrow, huh? That's right. It had completely slipped my mind. The string of murder incidents people attributed to Oyashiro-sama's curse it wasn't over. If last year's incident wasn't the end, then tomorrow night at the festival, would someone die and someone disappear?
I do wonder who will die tomorrow and who will disappear, though.
Takano-san said, running a comb through her hair with elegant movements, with a thin smile and a voice that nearly made me shudder. She almost looked like she was enjoying the thought of the incidents that could happen tomorrow. Then, out of the blue, we heard a loud round of applause. They seemed to be ending the drinking party early. Right, I was making Mion wait this whole time, wasn't I? Yeah, you jerk. I should go back to her soon. It's been like 45 minutes.
You're teasing You're teasing the kid too much, Takano-san. Now Keiichi-kun thinks it's all true.
I apologize. It's that bad habit of mine again,
said Takano-san, sticking out her tongue bashfully.
Bleh.
Blee.
Bleh. The strangeness in her expression was nowhere to be found.
When Takano-san sees an innocent child like you, she can't help wanting to poke fun at them. It's a real bad habit. Keiichi-kun, you listened to everything so earnestly that she ended up getting carried away.
I just remembered I was watching Vinny Vinesauce play something. I think it was Sons of the Forest or something with like other YouTubers who were younger than him because he's like 38 and they were like in their 20s. And one of the people he was playing with made a reference to that "eto bleh," and he went, "What the fuck?" And I think of that every time I think of that meme. It's so funny. Unlike Takano-san, Tomitake-san seemed like a totally normal person with common sense. They were apologizing after realizing what kind of impression they'd given me.
The stuff Takano said is all just fiction. If it made you harbor any bad impressions about Hinamizawa, then we apologize for that.
Jeez, Jiro-san.
You apologize too, Takano-san. Tell him you're sorry for scaring him.
Takano-san and Tomitake-san were arguing and messing around now. The strained air around us had already dissipated.
I will never apologize.
For anything.
For anything.
Kei-chan, you should get going soon, too. Mion is the jealous type. If she sees me, she'll probably start a fight, so I'll just be going home.
Really? Then I'll go see what Mion's doing and apologize for making her wait, I guess.
Sorry for being such a nuisance, Keiichi-kun. Could you tell Mion-chan we're sorry for borrowing you for so long?
Yes, I don't think telling her will make her feel any better, but sure. I'll do it anyway. Tomitake-san and Takano-san, standing next to each other, both began to chuckle. Right.
Okay then, Kei-chan. Let's try and run into each other at tomorrow's festival.
We'll see each other. I mean, it's us we're talking about after all. We'll be making so much trouble, it'll be hard for you not to find us. Shion and I said our goodbyes to Tomitake-san and Takano-san. Before we could leave, Takano-san called out to us.
Thanks for listening so earnestly to what I had to say. You're just so good at listening. I had a great time talking to you.
Good at listening? Not at all. I didn't listen to a thing you said. I was just in a state of perpetual bewilderment from all the shocking topics being thrown at me, one after another.
Did you like my story today?
Well, it's pretty interesting.
Then I'll tell you some more sometime, okay? There's a lot of pretty interesting legends and fairy tales about Hinamizawa. Of course, a lot of strange and creepy ones, too. I'll choose a bunch of my favorites and tell you about them.
I was kind of happy, but kind of worried. I can't help but smile dryly and scratch at my head.
Keiichi-kun, you can go now. Takano-san is just messing with you.
They say goodbye again and run off. I heard Tomitake-san call out behind him in a clear voice that we would see each other at the festival tomorrow. When I went to the tent Mion was waiting for me in, she was nowhere to be found. I made her wait so long. Maybe she got mad and went home. After asking some adults passing by, I heard that she went home talking to some relatives. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. But my regret for having made Mion wait wasn't enough to triumph over the impression Takano-san and Shion's uncanny story left on me. Serial murder incidents had happened 4 years in a row. Would tomorrow's events make this the 5th? And the possibility that someone from Hinamizawa was carrying this all out under the guise of the curse. The queer tradition of ritual sacrifice entirely unbecoming of the Showa period we lived in. I regretted it a little, though it was too late. If none of those creepy stories had anything to do with me, then I should have let Mion pull me away from that crowd. I felt a little ashamed about letting my cheap curiosity get the better of me. Somebody jump scare me. Jump scare me. Jump scare me. Do it.
Ah!
Ah! I was expecting like Rena to pop up or something.
Hello. Hello.
Is that the end of that chapter? That was good.
Yes.
Rana says, let's take a quick bathroom break before I explode.
I was gonna say, yeah, let's take a break. We're gonna take a break. Let's do
We'll be back.
We'll be back.
Jump scaring you.
Oh, thanks for the jump scare. All right. Let me actually turn this back up. Let's take a quick break. I forgot to pause the VOD. No! It's fine. I got my water. Drinking that water. Yahoo.
Waha!
Waha! Alright. We must continue. Shall we view the tips?
Yes.
Awesome.
Scraps 1 through 3 are important. While you're reading those, I will see if the other one's important.
Festival's around the corner. It's the name of that one. Okay. Let's read. We read. Oyashiro-sama's curse. In the ancient Onigafuchi village, the anger of Oyashiro-sama, his curse, was feared above all. However, it is seldom stated anywhere what eventually happens and what sort of divine judgment, curse, befalls them when Oyashiro-sama is angry. From various reports, all hell will break loose, demons will come flooding out, the miasma from hell will flood outward and kill every villager, letting not a single one escape. The ones evoking images of the village being annihilated stand out the most. Those terrifying ideas of divine punishment are in alignment with many other religious beliefs regarding the apocalypse, hell, and it's easy to imagine that they are just ways of convincing people to obey the teachings in order to prevent such an end. The conditions for inciting Oyashiro-sama's wrath are likely the same as the taboos in Onigafuchi village. I believe that when an act was performed that violates one of these taboos, Oyashiro-sama was termed angry, and in order to quell his anger, they would perform the aforementioned sacrificial ritual. That's one. Hello, Canara.
Hello.
Hello!
We're learning about Oyashiro-sama's curse. Alright. Human sacrifice ritual. The sacrificial ritual was a simple drowning involving plunging sacrifices into Onigafuchi swamp, which was considered hallowed. Of the rituals of Onigafuchi village, this one was unique in that the sacrifice would sink slowly over the long course of 3 days and 3 nights. I believe that it wasn't so much the killing of the sacrifice that was important, but rather the symbolism of them sinking as the submerging of Oyashiro-sama's anger. Yes, they turn into soup. For that purpose, they must have had a passion for learning various methods for keeping the sacrifice from sinking too quickly.
Onigafuchi soup.
Onigafuchi soup, to force them to sink more slowly. What is a swamp but gross soup? Anyway, unfortunately, as far as I can tell from the records, those methods were not recorded. My thoughts...
Buzzy.
Yes, hello, Buzzy. I am doing well. I hope you are also doing well. My thoughts are that they may have used logs or some similar material to create a raft, then set up a scaffold on there, hung the sacrifice up with ropes, and let them sink little by little over time into the swamp. However, if that were the case, it would not be strange if the ritual implements used for such a ceremony were honored as holy and enshrined somewhere. Scrapbook 2. And on we go. To learn more. Let's go. Implements used for the ritual. Ritual tools utilized for ancient religious ceremonies are commonly referred to as implements or ritual implements, and even now, some of them are enshrined on the property of Furude Shrine and 3 families. However, the identifiable tools are all decorative and none appear to have been used in rituals governing the dark side of Onigafuchi village. As the Edo era came to a close and many traditional rituals were lost, were they lost as well, or perhaps buried in the darkness?
Be nice to Moon Pie.
She didn't say it. I'm so sad. Hang on, I want her to say it. I want her to say that. But hello, Jordan. I don't believe so. Both the implements used on the night of the feast of Onikakushi and those used during the sacrificial ceremony must still exist, enshrined away from the eyes of the masses. I'm wondering if queer is automatically blocked by the program I use.
I don't have enough spoons to check.
I mean, you don't have to check. I'm wondering if that's why she's not saying that. Without a
No,
doubt.
as in, like, make Moon Pie say something else that doesn't have that word in it, is what I mean.
Oh, yeah. Oh, like the actual spoons.
Yes.
I see. Hang on.
I only have 800 spoons.
Give me 1 second.
Because I don't turn up to your streams live enough, because you do it in the middle of the night for me.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
You should be.
Higurashi one day.
Yep, it's totally blocked.
Damn.
I'm sorry. Without a doubt, they exist here today at this very moment in Hinamizawa. Also, I'm nearly certain where they've been enshrined. What was once locked steadfastly has, for some reason, changed this year to a cheap-looking padlock. He may be able to do something about such a lock.
Well, you see, queer is a slur.
Queer is considered a slur by many people. I don't consider it a slur, but it wouldn't surprise me if it is automatically blocked by certain, things that utilize inputting text,
Which, to be honest, better safe than sorry.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. However, it is not far from the assembly hall, nor is it even ever far from the presence of people. However, I will not give up. The night when it becomes a blind spot to every villager in Hinamizawa is coming soon. Soon it will be. Watanagashi. Oh. Queer sure is the Q in LGBTQ.
It is.
It is, but no.
Long history.
It's a long history. Back in the day, I mean, if you consider the other... Okay, a very quick explanation. If you consider the other definition of queer, it means weird. People started calling people in the LGBT community queer because it was weird. Because they thought they were weird. It was an insult. And then, the people they were calling that reclaimed that and started calling themselves that and owning it. That's the short version of that.
We're missing a very long fight for queer rights, but
yes,
that's the long and short of it.
That's why I said it's the short version.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm backing you up. I'm not arguing.
Yeah, no, I get you.
I'm on your side, dog. Anyway, TLDR about this is it's semi-important, but we won't read it. It's the TLDR of it is Oishi and his police crew gearing up for Watanagashi to like patrol and stuff because they're trying to prevent another murder disappearance.
Mhm.
It's a lot of Oishi going nahaha.
Nahaha. All right.
Ahaha. Ha ha ha.
Aha. Ahaha. Ahaha. We've done one chapter today. Yippee!
Woo!
Woo! Ready to do another one? Probably one more.
Like space.
Muh. Muh. All right, let's go. Yeah,
Nice trick.
Nice trick. All right, I'm gonna drink some water. Ugh. Words that folks
You're
use.
right, Jordan, but like you're right, but also the word gay and lesbian and bisexual, they've all been utilized as derogatory terms, but they are also just descriptors.
Yeah.
So it's kind of different.
Back when I was in like middle school, people would be like, "That's gay" at everything. Like it was a bad thing. Yeah.
And like this is all part of a larger discussion about why queer should be accepted as a term largely.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's long and it's complicated.
It's long and complicated. And it's a conversation that we can reserve for art streams when I'm streaming for 9 hours. Yeah. Yeah, Himble. Yeah, I get you. Anything can be derogatory with the right vocal tone.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
No,
Yeah.
we know you're not disagreeing.
Yeah,
Jordan.
we're not
It's okay.
arguing or anything. We're just talking. I really meant to say things differently. Yay, you want to say that?
I really didn't want to feel this way. Miscommunication drove in the wedge, those stuck in apprehension, driven to fear.
Wedge is my favorite Final Fantasy VII character.
Is that true?
No.
Nobody can stop it now. This cold hard emotion claws deeply and cruelly at my bared heart.
Naga.
Watanagashi.
Oh.
At that time, why did I whisper in remorse. But now those words simply rang hollow.
Uh-oh. Wah!
Wah! It's Keiichi-kun! Good morning! Good morning!
Rena was ecstatically waving her arms at me, already brimming with energy.
Don't think too hard about how the background is the same as when it's evening. The sun rises and sets on one side of the sky in Hikimizawa.
Don't worry about it. What do you mean, good morning? It's already evening. Oh. It is evening.
Well,
I just say hello.
Oh, and I just look like Boo Boo the Fool.
Boo Boo the Fool.
But this is the first time I've seen you today, so I think good morning is right. It's right.
I got it. Okay, then good morning it is. Good morning, Rena. I grabbed Rena's head and rubbed it with my hand.
Ow.
Why are you so close to me? I'm scared.
Hi.
She squirmed, reveling in the motion like a cat.
Oh.
Oh.
Hey, Akei-chan. Sorry about yesterday. I left without telling you.
No, it's my fault. Sorry for making you wait so long.
Are you talking about setting up the festival yesterday? How was it, Keiichi-kun? Did you do your job properly?
A slight muscle pain throughout my body and my sluggish movements were already obvious.
I did great. I'm pretty worn out, though.
I grin dryly and the three of us break out into laughter. Where are Satoko and Rika-chan? Are we meeting up with them at the festival?
Yep. Rika-chan's actually been there since yesterday because she has such an important job. I think Satoko-chan stayed with her, so they're already at the shrine.
Right, I just remembered. Today was Rika-chan's big performance. She'd been practicing especially hard for this day. As her friend, I needed to make sure I went and cheered her on. Alright, let's go right away.
Yeah!
Oh, that's cool.
That was a cool transition.
That's cool. As we got closer to the shrine, we started passing by more people and seeing a lot of parked cars. It began to get noisier too. Thought I could hear something like a Bond dance song. Without being able to restrain my impatience, I dashed up the entire flight of stone stairs.
Scorch is playing Balatro.
Scorch is playing Balatro, guys. We all gotta
My
know.
school literally had posters on the wall telling people not to say gay as a derogatory term and suggested alternatives.
Oh my god.
Romeo? That's all I can say about that. Romeo? That's crazy.
Wild.
My school had a if we ignore it, it'll go away approach to poor behavior.
Yeah.
And that didn't work.
Same. Oh.
Ugh.
Oh.
Keiichi-kun, you're going too fast. Wait for me.
Man, Kei-chan, you're such a little kid.
Well, takoyaki in the back. They got takoyaki.
What's a fucking takoyaki right now?
Oh, urin. Oh, apple.
Connecting to
These
chat.
are apples.
Did something happen?
No, nothing happened.
Twitch. Don't be a bitch, Twitch.
A bit. I'm reading everything. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Go ahead.
This
Tell us what it
these
says.
are like candy apples. This is ringo, which means apple. Kisoba.
Thanks, babe.
This is probably yakisoba. 'Cause
Again.
that says ki. Well. Hazune nashi. I don't know what that means.
Hatsune Miku.
Hatsune Miku.
Well, it has model kits on the stand, so probably something to do with that.
I don't know what that says, but that says ko at the end. So that
Hot peppers.
it's probably something to do with.
Or is it like an
peppers.
eggplant?
It looks like an eggplant to me. This isn't during New Year, it's during June, it's during the summer, so there's an eggplant thing about New Year's. If you have a dream with an eggplant, it's good luck. I don't know.
Why would you dream about an eggplant?
I don't know. I don't remember.
That being said, I constantly have dreams where like part of my tooth falls off.
Oh, I've had that. It sucks.
Like people dream a lot about like having their teeth fall out, but I only have dreams where part of my tooth falls off, like crumbles away.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Oh, that sucks. Whoa! The shrine grounds, they were packed with people. It was a festival if I ever saw one. Now that I've read all the kana.
Wow, they went all out this year too. Amazing, amazing.
They're coming from Hinamizawa.
Huh? The bedridden old man from the Kimiyoshi branch family is here too. I think that old guy went home from Watanagashi last year and stayed in bed ever since. Yeah, there was a lot of villagers here that I didn't really know. They must have all been pouring in just for today.
It's Satoko-chan. Hey!
Satoko.
Oh, if it isn't everyone. Yes, hello to you all.
Yo, Satoko. There's a lot of people today. Don't get lost in the crowd, okay?
Don't tell me what to do. Who do you even think you're talking to?
Satoko, too, seems somehow energetic. Of course, I'm the same way.
Huh? Where's Rika-chan? She still has free time, doesn't she? Rika was giving her respects to the mayor and other important people. She shall come before long.
I see. Rika-chan is the shrine maiden for today's festival, after all. It's probably a pain for her to say hello to all the elders.
It really is a pain. Hello, everyone.
It's a fucking pain in my balls.
Yeah,
God
it
damn
sucks so much. Hi.
Oh, Rika-chan! I wanted to take you home!
Rika-chan wore an immaculate shrine maiden outfit that looked fresh off the shelves. It was a perfect fit for her somehow. Mystical appearance.
How does it fit? It's not too long, is it?
My grandma gave me some safety pins just in case the sleeves are too long.
It's all right. It really is comfortable.
As she spoke, she began to do some twists and stretches. Oh.
Sorry about that. Discord froze for a second.
Oh.
It's great! It's great! It's so cute! Oh!
There was approximately one person here getting a nosebleed from watching Rika-chan move.
Equal opportunity, being a freak.
Keiichi-kun, don't you think she's cute? Don't you? If you don't, then she'll be all mine and I'll take her home with me.
I think
won't you, Kairi?
I think she's really cute, totally cool. Enough that I want to pretend to be her big brother or dad and take pictures with her. If we take a picture from two different places and make it stereoscopic, we can eat, or rather, stare at a real-life Rika-chan at our houses whenever we want. She's so cute.
Oh, that sounds great. That sounds fantastic.
Oops. I didn't mean to do that.
Kawaii or whatever.
Kawaii! Rena's eyes and mine glittered with stars as her noses bled and we drooled. She's so fucking cute!
Rika, you'd best stay away from them.
Yes.
Yes, or I may
Go. Oh, I'm not reading that. You look like you're enjoying it though, Rika-chan.
Me, you're being harsh.
We all laughed together again. Jokes about terrible things. Okay, let's not hang around here. Let's get to the festival. There's not much time left until Rika-chan's big debut. You're right. Great. Let's go, everyone. Woohoo!
Yeah!
Yippee!
Fuck up this festival.
Yo! If it isn't the daughter of Sonozaki, eat up! Yakisoba is packed full of pork! Here, we filled it up as much as we could. We even put in fried calamari. Oh, fuck yeah.
Give it to me. Give it to me right
Gotcha,
now.
old timer. The yakisoba this year looks like quite an achievement. You have squid too and put a ton of time into this, didn't you?
I'm so fucking jealous of these goddamn stupid children. They can have good food for basically free.
I want to eat
Ugh.
that.
Wow, it's tasty! It's tasty!
Yeah, the squid is delicious too, but the aroma is just fantastic. It wonderfully compensates for how soft it tends to be. There's a delightful amount of squid and pork in it too. Yep, not bad at all, I say. You could have just been like, wow, thank you, sir.
Unfortunately, he's a weirdo.
Kei-chan, you sound like you could walk into a cooking program and become the host.
Yeah. When I see Keiichi-kun acting like it's so good, it somehow tastes even better.
I don't discriminate among delicious food, so anything that I say is tasty has got to be worth trying out, right?
Then, Keiichi, please give us your opinion of this yakisoba again.
I'll do it in 2 words. Absolutely scrumptious. If I had a second stomach, I'd buy another one right now. Having heard my 3-star rating, a whole line of people suddenly formed in front of the yakisoba stand.
Wow, that's amazing. Kei-chan said it was so good that a little crowd started to form. Not bad.
It's nothing to brag about, but I still decided to stick out my chest and put on airs.
What a dork.
Oh, is that so? Then perhaps I shall try it out. Mister, could I perhaps chance bother you for one takoyaki? One singular ball?
Can I have 1 ball, please? Hang on. There's more shit for me to read. Whoops. Kirokoshi, ika. Oh, that means squid.
Yay!
Yay! If you couldn't tell by the squid on the sign. Woo! Okay, that's it. That says Mizu over there. It means water. Satoko bought a stick of takoyaki, balls of fried octopus, yeah no shit, from the adjacent stand, and after blowing on it, put one of them into her mouth.
It was boiling hot, and she died.
Yep. Rest in peace.
How is it, Satoko-chan? If you give it a good rating, then Rena will buy it too.
Chomp chomp! Chew chew! Gulp. Now, it's time for Hina Mizawa's very own food critic, Judge Satoko Hojo, to give her impressions.
Nah, it's fine.
Though she was all for it a moment ago, Satoko hesitated to give her thoughts. Hey, now what's the matter? Everyone else takes one of their own and puts it in their mouths.
Huh? Rena, oh, let's not say that word.
Mine's bad too. There's no octopus in it. It's just breading. No!
Ew.
This takoyaki vendor, could this be some sort of summer festival, only octopus-free takoyaki stand? An evil takoyaki stand that skimped on the octopus because they figured it would make them good money today.
Ah, mine has some. Yeah, it's pretty good, considering there's octopus in it.
How am I supposed to explain that this octopus-free takoyaki is any good?
Everyone wondered about that. Our quizzical looks seemed to be drawing equally dubious stares from the people in line.
Or how about this? Takoyaki without any octopus is really healthy. And even people who don't like octopus can eat this delicious takoyaki.
I don't know. Takoyaki without octopus is probably less healthy.
It just sounds miserable, to be quite honest.
After hearing that, several surprised guests left the line. It had the exact opposite effect.
A dubious little creature getting up to mischief.
All right, then I'll give it a try next. A self-inspired take on takoyaki, in which you can clearly taste the simple flavors of the flour, green onions, and pickled ginger. The unaffected taste is bolstered by the absence of octopus. It wasn't half bad, but after hearing "there's no octopus in it" clause, even more people left the line. Rika-chan, any good comments? You can be honest.
It sucks ass.
400 yen is too much for this.
Damn.
$4. That was too honest. Even more customers leave the line, dealing a lethal blow. There were other takoyaki stands around after all.
Well, I mean, we might not want to be doing this.
Hey, Satoko. You started all this, so give us a great big turnaround.
I'll do it. How do you expect me to lavish praise upon takoyaki without any octopus in it?
God, you idiot! Satoko's angry outburst was the finishing blow. Everybody's leaving.
The customers are all gone. Huh? The guy is staring at us. Why is that? Why is that, Hao?
There's no saving this crowd. Perhaps I, Keiichi Maibara-sama, will lend a generous hand.
Keiichi-kun, you could do it. We want to save the takoyaki vendor who didn't put any octopus in.
Why?
Don't smile as you say something so bitter. Alright, fine. This may be the only chance you'll get to see a pro at work, so watch carefully. I shoved the stick into the octopusless takoyaki and crammed it into my mouth. As before, there wasn't any octopus in it, but Mion's had some in it. That was the important point. Why do you care so much about this? The man who runs this takoyaki stand, he truly loves takoyaki in every meaning of the word. No, it could even be said that he adores it. Everyone gasped in surprise, including the takoyaki vendor glaring at us. This man truly does love takoyaki, and because he loves it, he doesn't want to create half-hearted random ones. Isn't that right? Takoyaki vendor looked down, unsure. Those watching were listening intently, wanting to know why octopusless takoyaki deserves such a high rating.
Keiichi-san, if you really and truly love takoyaki that much, why did he make takoyaki without octopus at all? Is he not betraying that very takoyaki?
You may be right. In one sense, it is a betrayal. However, it's the best possible compromise this man could find. This man is making real lot box potential for octopus in every loot box. Okay, this man is making real takoyaki today, as he always does. However, only one or two of them on each stick are the real ones. Well, you're right. The one I ate had octopus in it, and considering it did actually have it, it didn't taste bad at all, you know? Right. That was a bona fide takoyaki. And as for the other ones, it was the biggest compromise he could make against the biases of the general populace, who all think that there need to be 8
today.
8 pieces on the stick, or else it's not real takoyaki.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
It's fine.
Huh? Keiichi-kun, I don't understand what you mean. Why is one of them the real thing, and all the others fake? Why?
The secret lies in the octopus. Mister, this octopus! It's true, Akashi octopus, isn't it? In recent years, the number of octopuses caught in Akashi has decreased, and their prices have risen drastically. The prices are now so high that you wouldn't think of using them in takoyaki. Then the man, who had been looking down this whole time, mumbled. Yeah, that's right. Akashi octopus, it's very expensive. But this man absolutely had to have Akashi octopus. He could have bought much worse quality octopus for cheaper as much as he wanted, and he would have still been able to fool everyone. There are plenty of other scamming takoyaki vendors who claim theirs are from Akashi, even though they're not. But this man wouldn't accept it. He wouldn't tell lies. Akashi octopuses are supreme. He would never relinquish a stubborn conviction. This man loved takoyaki. That's why he never lied. Yet, there was one point that he absolutely had to compromise on.
What might that be?
The number. The popular opinion is that a stick of takoyaki should have 8 pieces on it, even if it's real Akashi octopus. He couldn't charge 400 yen for just 1 piece, could he? If he didn't have 8 pieces, nobody would buy them. This man wept over it. In order to make just 1 true piece of takoyaki, he wouldn't ever let himself lie through the other 7. Oh, whoa! The octopus-free takoyaki vendor burst into tears. I gently clapped one of his shoulders. No matter what anyone else says, I will never forget how genuine you are. You, sir, are a true vendor of takoyaki. You are the only one in the world with the right to call himself that.
And then everyone clapped. The takoyaki vendor did Gangnam Style.
As I embraced the shoulders of this man, shedding his manly tears, those watching delivered a round of applause, moved by the speech. Everyone, I beg of you, please eat some of this true takoyaki vendor's I don't care anymore. If nobody else will eat them, I will eat them all. Yippee.
Oh, well, everyone watching is lining up. Keiichi-kun, you did it! You did it! You did it! Yay!
Yay, I think it's more they thought Kei-chan's propaganda speech was interesting, and rather than that, the takoyaki actually looked good. Kei-chan, you could probably sell plain old rocks if you tried. And then my voice cracked.
You would The voice is leaving. You would do well at products demonstrations in supermarket. Yay.
I suspect you'd be good at selling off suspicious wonder knives.
Absolutely stunned at my successful pitch. The guy manning the stall next to this one called out to me, "Hey! Help me sell my shit. Do it for my sweets." Great! You all get the gist of it, right? It's your turn this time, Rena.
Okay, I'll do my best. I think the sweet's dog shit. Oh. When apricot sweets are cold, they're very, very good. We get the idea.
I'm getting out of here. I'm getting out of here.
They're having fun at the festival.
They're having fun and doing stupid shit at the festival, and it's...
Yay. They are friends.
They are friends. Whoops! Goldfoot fish. Goldfish.
Goldfoot.
Goldfuck.
Ah!
Here we go! Oh, goldfish, why are you so close to me? Oh no, I can see where the color for your... The color is leaking outside of your lines, Mion! No! Girl jump scare. Mutter, mutter. Oh no, she's close to me, she's a girl! Oh no!
It's not about that, I promise.
Okay. Tell me... Oh, Shion's here.
Oh, hi, Shion.
Oh, Shion's here. Should we start reading again?
Yeah, probably.
Alright.
Green hair and pronouns, jump scare. Yeah, that's Mion.
Oh, shit.
Yes, you did indeed say so.
My sister is omnivorous. She eats anything that can go in her mouth.
Whoa.
If they taste good, then maybe I'll try one next time.
No, Rika-chan, don't. You'll get sick.
Are y'all talking about eating goldfish? Wait a second. Hey, what the hell? Shion, how long have you been here?
Hey, Kei-chan, Mion, everyone, good evening.
And this is where Shion appears for the first time in front of Rena. And I tell everyone about how I want Rena and Shion to hold hands.
Uh-oh. Where did you come from, Shion?
I've been here the whole time. Yeah, literally. I've been here since the bit with the yakisoba. You were all so loud that I found you right away.
Jeez, you've got nothing to do with this, do you? Go somewhere else already.
Jeez, Mion, don't treat me so cruelly. Right, Kei-chan? You're okay with me being here, right?
Go away, she asked, grabbing my arm and pushing her chest into it. Boob noise, boob sound effect.
Kei-chan, you're a pervert.
I'm not even gonna continue that. Just leave that as it is.
When you squish a jelly donut, the jelly comes out, right? It's the same. I have no control.
Is that right? Then will more come out if I squeeze harder?
Oh no!
She's a freak!
Oh no!
Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here.
Oh, get me out! I'm in hell. Gah! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh
Stop
no!
that! Nope, nope, nope! Get out of here! Get out of here! Get out of here!
Just get out! Oh, I hate early 2000s anime bullshit. Yeah,
Rena
you
punched me.
Yeah, you deserved it, Rika. You deserved it. Oh my god. Oh no. Oh no. Get me out. Anyway. Hi everyone. A reminder. This game was made in the early 2000s when this was all anime was. It still is sometimes. Anyway, those of you in the YouTube comments getting mad at me for skipping through that, go to jail.
If you're mad in the YouTube comments, know that I'm at your door as we speak.
At your door.
Doop, 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 doop. You hear that? You hear that? You hear
That's
that?
Cal.
Also, we can continue here.
Alright.
That's right, you'll do fantastic, Rika.
Yippee! I'll do my best. Wow.
Yeah, that's the spirit.
I ball my hand into a fist and raise it into the air. Yippee! We're rooting for you, Rika-chan. Go for it. Yay, remember?
Go for it!
Go for
Yay!
it. Yay.
Yay!
Rika also said that. Rika-chan gave the best smile that I'd ever seen, then pivoted on her heel and ran off.
Okay, we should get going too.
Right, let's go cheer her on.
You mustn't. You must keep silent during the performance.
I got it, jeez. I rubbed a hand through her hair. She was worried about her good friend up to the end.
Then we'd better hurry.
All the good
if you're
spots.
mad in the YouTube comments, please like, comment, and subscribe.
No, go away. All the good
We don't like your kind here.
Your kinds are not welcomed here. All the good spots will be taken. Come on! Mion ran off and everyone else followed a moment later. A large amount of people had already clustered into the tight space to watch the edifying dance. Wow, this is a lot of people. I turned around to look at everyone else, but nobody was there. Where did everyone go? They probably got lost among all these people. Finally, I spotted the back of Mion's head on the other side of the crowd. Definitely doesn't look like it can get over there. Well, we got separated. No big deal. We can just meet back up when Rika-chan's dance is over. I gave up on finding the others and wandered around trying to look for a place where I'd be able to see her. See better. It didn't take long for me to realize I'd have to settle for watching between the heads of the people in front of me, though. Once again, an even louder taiko drum resounded. That's what taiko drums sound like. Thank you, Buzzy, for the 9 months.
Everyone make a taiko drum noise in your real house right now. Doom.
Awesome. This one was to announce the beginning of the dance. I couldn't see very well, but it seemed like Rika-chan had come on stage with the elders who were in priestly garb. I heard low exhalations of admiration and the seniors rubbing their prayer beads in gratitude. Everyone's heads were in the way and I couldn't see. It was really frustrating. We should have cut playtime short and come here to get good spots earlier. After Rika-chan intoned the prayer, she took the festival hoe and walked to the pile of quilts stacked on the altar. We're very mature here. That's right. The point of the ceremony was to purify bedding and to hold a memorial service, wasn't it? Then the solemn offertory dance began. She had practiced using a mochi pounding mallet. The awkwardly shaped festival hoe Rika-chan held seemed really heavy. Back and forth, up and down, it was doubtlessly difficult to even lift in the air, but she sweated and waved, raised, and dropped it again and again. She couldn't just deal with it and do it grudgingly. As the shrine maiden, she needed to retain the dignity and solemnity present at this festival. I've never been able to say that word right. There must be a ton of pressure on Rika-chan's shoulders right now. Damn! Why am I cheering her on from a place I can barely see her? I'm her friend, so I should be right up in the best spot rooting for her. Man.
Kei-chan, over here.
Someone tugged lightly on the back of my shirt collar. It was Shion. She beckoned me outside the crowded ring of people. I'm so mad at myself. That whole line about, like, if you squeeze a jelly donut, then, like, jelly will come out has made me want donuts.
It's okay. It's
I'm just sitting
okay.
here like, man. She had a mischievous grin on her face and took it as her saying she knew a good place nobody else knew of. Shion, what's up?
Shh. Just be quiet and come with me.
She's gonna kill me. She told me so. After she told me so. Uh-oh. Buzzy, thank you for the gift, so I appreciate that.
Whoa.
Yippee! She ran in a big detour around the throng. Man, it's great to have someone who knows the lay of the land here at times like this. Impressed though I was, I nearly lost sight of her right away. No more getting separated from me. I ran after her so that I wouldn't be left behind. As I wondered in anticipation what kind of secret spot Shion had in mind, we left the crowd of people and went around to the back of the shrine grounds. Hey, wait, where are we going? We're getting further and further away.
Shh. Just stay quiet and follow me. You'll understand soon.
Oh. Shion gave me a wink that reminded me of Mio, and as she said that, no sign of people and not much moonlight. It was dark. We had gotten pretty far away from the crowd of people on the shrine grounds. How are we supposed to see Rika-chan's dance from here? I see, there's some high spot around here, isn't there? Like a rooftop or somewhere we can look down at it, right?
What? Why do we have to climb onto the roof?
Well, how else are we gonna see Rika-chan's dance?
Did you really want to see Rika-chama's dance? Kei-chan, could it be that your strike zone is really low?
What the fuck? I don't think we're understanding each other here. Weren't you going to show me somewhere I could see Rika-chan's dance from easily?
What? Who made that promise?
Ah! What's going on? Why me? Why do I always misunderstand Shion? Is it my fault?
Because she's a lying bitch.
Am I just reading the wrong things into it? Then why did you call me all the way out here? To kill you. With an expression that indicated she wasn't fooling around, Shion pressed her index finger to my lips and said slowly and quietly.
This place is a dark, dead, empty spot. You can't see it from the festival grounds. And now, a male and a female of the same age are all alone together.
No. Could this be? Shion, she's not planning something crazy again, is she? No.
Shh! Look over there. See?
Shion whispered, pointing into the dark underbrush. And there we saw two figures, one male and one female. Oh, you were talking about somebody else. What's that? Is that?
We're right at the scene of the rendezvous, of course.
Fucking freak.
See, look closely. Can you tell who they are?
I peered intently into the dark at Shion's suggestion. Oh, it's Tomitake-san and Takano-san. Oh. Two of them were clearly breathing quietly and glancing around to make sure nobody knew they were there as they crouched before the entrance to a wooden storehouse-like building. Wait, Shion, could this be what you wanted to show me?
Kei-chan, you can see that we can see Rika-chama's dance any year, but you won't ever get another chance like this, okay?
I had thought the Sonozaki sisters each had their own personalities, but at times like this, they seemed all too similar. I'm going back. Don't call me for something like this again. That's fucking weird.
If you move now, they'll see us.
At our noisy argument, Takano-san suddenly turned around. Oh my, who might that be? We held our breaths and tried to wait it out, but it seemed like Takano-san was now acutely aware of our presence. Shion and I exchanged glances, then gave up and climbed out from behind the bush.
Well, hello there. The moon sure is beautiful tonight, isn't it?
My, if it isn't Shion-chan and Meibara-kun. Good evening. Yes, the moon certainly is pretty.
What's this? Keiichi-kun, you sure are smart, you know that. Having a secret date in a place like this. Then I guess we accidentally interrupted something important.
You're the ones who were meeting up secretly. Tomitake-san and Takano-san laughed to themselves, and it got on my nerves for some reason.
Wait, so you two weren't having a little rendezvous then?
Of course we weren't.
Sure.
Though I don't dislike that kind of romance.
Unfortunately, this wasn't the location of a rendezvous either of you would want to see. Sorry for not living up to your expectations.
If this wasn't a rendezvous, then what were you doing here? Tomitake-san, were you just messing with the padlock on the door just now?
Huh? After she said that, I looked at the two of them again, and I definitely saw it. They were hunched in front of a warehouse door, fiddling with a pretty heavy-looking padlock.
Guess we've been found out, huh? We were trying to break into the warehouse. But don't tell anyone, alright?
Don't tell anyone. Are you thieves or something? I demanded unthinkingly just because of how absently Tomitake-san was grinning.
Nah, never. Thieves are people who steal things, right? It's not like we were trying to take anything out of here.
I see. Then why are you trying to unlock the door? This is the forbidden storehouse for ritual tools. They say only the Furude family and a mere handful of others are allowed in.
Forbidden storehouse. I took a few steps back at that and looked on the entire warehouse. It certainly looked like one, built removed from any signs of people, almost as if in secret. It was filthy, revealing how little it was ever opened, and it was built to be durable, giving it a strange, overpowering impression. Now that I looked at it more closely, it was certainly different than normal warehouses.
This place. They're called ritual implements. Basically, this is a warehouse where they store such tools used in rituals. Well, More accurately, maybe it's a temple where the implements are enshrined. The ritual Ho Rika-chan is using for the offertory dance was inside here until today. Of course, if anyone but the Furude family enters, they bring impurity into it, so absolutely no one is allowed a single step inside it. It's a sanctuary.
Shouldn't we absolutely not be coming to a place like this then? However, Takano was wearing a childlike expression, an innocent smile at best and terribly cruel grin at worst.
I told you I was researching Hanamizawa's folk tales and legends out of an interest in them, didn't I? A lot of the answers to questions I'm curious about are hidden away inside there. I've waited all this time until today for this chance.
A chance. Everybody's eyes were fixed on the dance at the shrine grounds today. This was the ultimate blind spot.
See? I didn't know you had such lockpicking skills, Tomitake-san.
Stop it. I don't want to be doing this, okay? My girlfriend just demands it.
Sorry for taking you along with me, but this was all thanks to you, Jiro-san. I really am grateful.
Sheesh. This is the only time, understand, Takano-san? I don't want to be sneaking into places like this.
You really are a good person, Jiro-san.
Ka-clink! Tomitake-san undid the padlock and placed it to the side.
It's open.
Thank you. At long last.
Takano-san gulped. With an unusually excited air about her, she gave the heavy door a shove. The sharp smell of mold and dust flowed out from the gap in the doors. I had claimed curses didn't exist, but in this situation I could believe in them. If we went into such a holy place with our shoes on, feels like we could be punished somehow.
How about it? Your accomplices, too. You came all the way here, so why not come in and take the tour? It'll be a little field trip to a museum of precious cultural artifacts that conceal the secret history of Hanamizawa. And it's only open today.
We're not accomplices or anything.
Aren't you interested, though? Come on, let's take a peek.
Shion said, predictably, linking her arm with mine. But we definitely shouldn't be doing this. This is a holy warehouse, isn't it? You said ritual implements, right? I really feel like we shouldn't go in.
I'm a part of the Sonozaki family, so I have a good guess as to what we'll find in there. But I want you to see it too, Kei-chan.
You want to show something to me? I thought it was just a ploy, but Shion's eyes looked entirely serious. Of course she was the sort who could lie with a straight face. Of course, I was an average boy, too. My curiosity was at least twice that of a normal person. Sleeping forbidden treasures, never to leave this warehouse. Chances like this don't come around too often. If I had to choose, then I want to see! Till the locked door is open, though. I don't know about this.
If you're not interested, Kei-chan, then you can leave now. I think you'll wonder about it later, though.
Tomitake-san spoke after listening to our discussion, himself having sat down on the stairs to take a short rest. That lockpicking sure did take it out of me. Oh.
I'll keep watch here. Go in and check it out with them. I'm not too interested. But it might be pretty interesting for a young guy like you, Keiichi-kun.
Foo, he said, laughing mischievously. There was no ill will in his laughter. Tomitake-san, do you know what's in there? Or in here?
Kind of. Takano-san told me all about it.
Must be a pain to have to go along with your companion's unique hobbies, huh?
Tomitake-san didn't answer that, only responding with a pained smile. Takano-san had this kind of scary air about her, like she'd drop absolutely everything else for something she had an interest in and go straight for it, but Tomitake-san, on the other hand, seemed like the gold standard of what a normal person should be. Having him tell me so frankly to go check it out suddenly made the guilt feel lighter. Okay, but just a little. If it's not interesting, I'm leaving.
You got it.
Shion gave me another Mion-like wink.
Looks like we're decided. Shall we go inside? Jiro-san, we'll leave this to you.
Tomitake-san waved his hand to see us off. I want to see what's in the fucking warehouse. Let me in.
It's wood paneling.
Oh, cool. Inside was pitch black, but Takano-san turned on the battery-powered lantern she'd brought, revealing a pretty, cramped front room. Oh.
It's so dark in here. Everyone take care not to trip over anything.
I appreciate the concern. Okay, doorman. Keep a good watch. We're shutting the door now.
Takano-san smiled spitefully as if leaving Tomitaki-san out of something fun and began to close the door.
Man. Alright, everyone have fun.
There was a low, heavy, and loud noise, and we were completely cut off from the outside world, covered in silent darkness. Takano-san's lantern was the only light we had.
It'll be fine. It's an outdoor lantern with backup batteries inside. It won't go out or anything.
Looks like Takano noticed my uneasy expression. Couldn't help but blush a little and avert my gaze. Deeper inside, there was a heavy and old but sturdy door with solemn decorations on it. It was the last door sealing away what was within.
Strange how it has an antechamber even though it's just a warehouse, isn't it? I believe it's set up this way so that you open one door at a time, never letting the room with all the tools be seen from the outside.
Takano-san explained this, awfully impressed by the construction. But still, it's really dark in here. Huh? That over there, it's... I spotted a circuit breaker hanging from a clump of wiring clumsily attached to the wall. Oh, here, isn't this the light switch or something? I flipped the biggest switch I can find, and with a click, the pitch-black room was illuminated by an old, bare light bulb. Everyone scrunched up their faces at the sudden strobe light brightness.
Don't!
Before she even finished, Shion slapped my hand and flipped the switch back. There was another loud click, and the room returned to darkness with only the lantern for illumination. Ah! Ow!
You can't catch on. We snuck in here, remember? If you turn on the light, it might give us away.
Yeah, dumbass. Scolded by Shion fairly harshly. It looked like she was worried about whether someone had seen them from the momentary light.
It's all right. It was only for a moment.
Takano-san remained a relaxed adult. Seemed like she was confident she could talk her way out of it if someone did see us.
Let's go in. Here we go. Oh! There.
Okay. The even heavier door opened, and this time it wasn't just the dust that came out with the air. There was also a nasty smell.
Yum.
One smell was like opening a dust-filled cupboard in the back of a kitchen that hadn't been opened in years. And the other smell, the nasty one, was hard to explain, but it was like the raw odor of a fish market. Ew.
Ugh.
From how the sound echoed, this room felt far larger than the first. Takano-san held up her lantern and revealed the contents of the expansive room. Uh-oh. Whoa! The back wall of the storehouse right in front of us was a Buddha-like holy object standing there, looking at us. I want to see it. I was taken aback by its unseen force, lit up by the slender beam of the lantern. Oh, there it is. Okay.
That's the guardian of Hinamizawa. Oyashiro-sama.
It looked great in here. It's far grander than the one at the shrine.
There was like a torture chamber over there. It's like a
Where?
There was like a table behind Shion with like straps.
I'm sure it's fine.
Uh-oh. Oh, Yashiro-sama. So this is the spirit protecting Hinamizawa, the one guarding the holy land of Hinamizawa from the impurities of the outside world, and the one delivering punishment after punishment upon those who attempted to sully the land with the dam construction.
It looks like there are far more tools stored here than I thought, but this is so sad. None of them have been maintained. How unfortunate that they're in such a state.
Look!
Why would you want to maintain any of this?
Look
Takano?
at that!
There is a person-shaped box on the wall.
There's also that. And then
And
there's...
a giant mallet in the middle of the room.
That's...
Various saws and cages.
That looks like a stone cutter over there?
Possibly. There's, like, giant basins.
The mallet is probably the mochi mallet. Probably.
Probably.
Even...
Cow tools.
Yeah. Cow tools. Even in the dim light, I could see a lot of strange objects lining the walls, ceiling, and shelves. Takano-san, speaking as if in a trance, was infatuated by the various implements filling the dark room. They weren't very festival-like or traditional, but instead, this was more like the workshop of a blacksmith or a carpenter. There were a lot of large wooden and metal tools packed in here. Putting it bluntly, it was all pretty boring stuff. Yeah, you know, the table with the straps, that's boring.
It's for wood.
Sure. I'd imagine there would be more artistic things in here from the Heian period, but these are a far cry from being cultural artifacts. My expression betrayed my dashed hopes, and they caught on right away. Oh, is this not interesting for you? Not into literature or art, so I can look at this stuff, but I don't really understand its value. Keiichi-kun, you really do look like you don't get it. I guess that's only natural. Takano-san reached into a paper bag that she'd been holding the whole time, took out a worn scrapbook, and began to flip through it. Then just for you, Keiichi-kun, I'll tell you an old story. It's
Scrapbook, huh?
Yeah, it's a common tale. It's a common tale in this region. If you go to the library, it would even be on their recommended reading list. Telling stories in such a dark, creepy place? She must have a horror story in mind. Shion's face belied nothing but calm. If she had the same personality as Mion, she'd have found fault with me being scared. I'll endure it for now and pretend to be calm. Okay. All right. I'll read it. After confirming that I was going to be quiet and listen, she began to speak softly like a kindergarten teacher reading a picture book. All right, I need to get close to the mic for this. Long, long ago, in a certain village in the mountains, there was a swamp. This swamp was very, very deep. Some even called it bottomless. People said it was connected to hell, the land of demons. The rumor said that it was deeper than the ocean and that anyone it swallowed would sink into the underworld, a bottomless swamp. Its name was Onigafuchi. Wait. I thought back to the story I heard yesterday about the sacrifices sinking in the bottomless swamp. Could that be the swamp she's talking about? So then the village was Hinamizawa, right? You catch on quickly. That's right. Though it was called Onigafuchi Village at the time. Onigafuchi Village. That's a pretty inauspicious, auspicious name. Yes.
It evokes quite the image, doesn't it? I hear that the name was changed in the Meiji period.
The name of the swamp connected to hell was called Onigafuchi, which meant the demon's abyss. And the true name of this village, Hinamizawa, was Onigafuchi Village. The villagers belonged to that abyss, or to hell, in other words. They lived their lives worshipping the swamp said to connect to it. But then, one day... demons began to appear, one after the other, from deep in the swamp. The villagers feared that hell was overflowing. The demons mercilessly attacked the villagers. They could only watch in fear. They could do no more than hide themselves and tremble. So did someone exterminate them? Unfortunately, there is no Momotaro or Superman in this fairy tale. Then did they get the whole village together to fight them? Heavens, no. The villagers weren't nearly strong enough to fight on equal terms with the demons. Then, the only recourse would be to flee the village. They couldn't do that either. To the villagers, it was their beloved homeland. It didn't matter how terrifying the demons, they wouldn't have run away so easily. Then, what did they do? Wouldn't they just get wiped out? Unable to fight and unable to run, all they could do was wait for the village to be destroyed. Then when everyone had lost hope, their god, Oyashiro-sama, descended unto them. I see. So Oyashiro-sama came down from the sky and beat up all the demons then.
You're such a boy, Kei-chan. You always jump straight to using force to resolve things.
Shion sighed, a little annoyed, embarrassed. I held my tongue. The thing about Oyashiro-sama,
He wasn't a violent god who would beat them up like you're saying. He was a kind god, filled with love and benevolence. The strength of Oyashiro-sama descended from the heavens couldn't be compared to that of the demons. They didn't even fight. They simply prostrated themselves before his radiant authority. Oyashiro-sama urged them back to hell from whence they came, but the demons wept and challenged him, saying they could never return. The world of the demons, too, has harsh commandments. They claimed they had been banished from hell. Demons, who didn't have a place to go neither in hell nor in the human world. Of course, they were at fault for attacking the village. They deeply reflected on it and were sorry. As the villagers conversed amongst themselves, little by little they came to pity the demons, and after talking with everyone in the village, they decided to live alongside them. A lot of fairy tales have them being exterminated or driven away, but you don't often hear one where they live in peace.
You're right. Demons are supposed to symbolize all evils. A story where they decide to live together with humans is certainly strange.
When the demons first heard the villagers' invitation, they doubted their ears, but soon burst into tears of joy. The villagers had given them a place to live. It was said that in payment for this good deed, the demons shared their many kinds of power and secrets with the villagers. Oyashiro-sama was very pleased with this happy exchange. He gave the demons the bodies of humans, so they would be indistinguishable from the villagers. He himself decided to stay on the surface and watch over the everlasting peace between them. A land in which man, demon, and god lived together. I had thought the word demon was a noun meaning evil that needs to be exterminated. A god may have mediated for them, but you don't often hear happy endings like that where both sides live in harmony. I see. I guess it is kind of interesting. Although the normal fairy tale ends there, it was revised quite a bit during the Edo period into a much longer story. After that, the humans and demons intermixed, and eventually there was no difference between them. So the demons ended up disappearing?
No, not at all. Half of them stayed just as they were.
The knowledge of the villagers had received from the demons basically made them into something inhuman, what people call transcendent. They were well aware the power they had was heresy, and as those below worshipped them, they lived out their lives in secrecy. This story is the root of many derivative tales and pieces of fiction. It's the foundation, I mean. The basis. What do you mean by root? I mean foundation, or the basis. Like I just fucking said.
She means the part about the villagers having demon blood. What I mean is, all of the legends from around here are based on the premise that the villagers are descended from demons.
There was a hint of amusement in Shion's face as she said that. It was like she wanted to say that she too had demon blood in her. Is there any proof, though? Maybe it's somehow rooted in historical fact beyond just fairy tales.
Oh,
Meibara-kun, then do you believe that demons really did come out of the swamp and breed with humans?
Well, it's not that I don't believe it, but when she said demon, she meant the ones from hell, but in ancient Japan, the word wasn't necessarily used to denote only that kind, right? The more well-known use involves the drifting foreigner theory. As the story goes, Westerners who were shipwrecked in nearby seas had such markedly different customs that they were called demons. Japanese people were relatively similar in appearance and to other Asians, but everything about those from the West was different. Their physiques, their faces, and their skin color. In Japan, terms like red demon and blue demon evoke images, especially of Westerners. Lacking in skin pigments, Westerners would sunburn easily and turn red. Being fair-skinned, I think blood vessels appearing on their skin would look blue, too. A handful of accidental aliens would drift into Japan and came under persecution, being called demons. They would flee into the mountains to survive, turn into bandit groups, and attack villages for food and the like. How does that explanation sound? Maybe it's a bit childish. Takano gave me a weird smile when, having come up with such an impromptu hypothesis, I unconsciously followed it up with self-deprecation. Still, she didn't smile as if to make fun of me.
It's not ridiculous. There are a lot of people who subscribe to the drifting foreigner theory. Even so, nobody actually knows what happened. Were they groups of foreigners who had turned to banditry, or were they really demons who had come from the bottom of the world? Then, Takano-san, which one do you believe? The truth of the matter aside, I'd rather believe the more fantastic explanation. It's more fun that way, isn't it? Her answer made her sound a wee bit like a romanticist. Here I'd thought she'd reject unrealistic stories like that. Now then, this is where the fun begins. Takano-san brought an end to her storytelling and waits for a moment as if to tantalize us. Suddenly, Shion looked around, as if something had caught her eye. Her head bobbed to and fro like she was making sure nothing had changed. What's wrong, Shion?
Sorry. Please don't worry about it.
Shion pretended as though nothing had happened. Takano-san also made sure nothing had happened, then cleared her throat and broached the next subject.
I explained that half the villagers have demon blood. That blood, they actually say that it's the blood of the kind of demon that eats people.
Yum.
Man-eating demons? That escalated quickly.
That blood still runs through the villagers' veins. They say that sometimes the blood awakens from its slumber.
I thought the fairy tale had a happy ending with the humans and demons living in peace, but it began to suddenly change into a brutal, bloody story.
Well, they eat people. They say that every decade or so, they can't help but want to feast on human flesh. The villagers can't eat other villagers. So when this happens, it's said that they descended on the human villages and conducted onikakushi.
What's an onikakushi?
Broadly speaking, it's when a demon kidnaps someone, when a person is demoned away. They say that the villagers of Onigafuchi would overwhelm unfortunate human villages in order to kidnap sacrifices.
Takano-san's explanation was plain and simple, but when I imagined what it must have been like, it was terrifying. They lose their human reason. The villagers turn into real demons en masse. They attack the villages they loathe in the dirty world of the masses below, and then they kill and eat their sacrifices. So they're no different from demons after all. What did Oyashiro-sama do?
Wasn't he supposed to be staying in the village and watching over them? Oyashiro-sama knew about it, of course. Onikakushi isn't indiscriminate. The villagers apparently never kidnapped anyone other than the sacrifices decided upon by their god. In the text, it's usually one or two people.
A village inhabited by those, both human and inhuman. It was like the heartwarming episode's colors had inverted, like negative film, revealing the painful and ugly truth.
So on the nights when they stole away villagers, they would feast on their kidnapped sacrifices, which is why the nights came to be known as Watanagashi.
Watanagashi. Tonight's festival was Watanagashi. I just couldn't reconcile the fun festival with the horrible tale Takano-san was telling me. Watanagashi, well, wasn't it about giving thanks to the futons we use over the winter or something?
Kei-chan, Wata has another meaning, you know? It means entrails.
Oh. Shion, who had been silent until now, spoke up. Entrails? Oh, yeah, I guess that's true. Like fish guts.
Wait, what?
Like a jigsaw puzzle. The fun times I had today and Takano-san's grotesque tale clicked together in my mind. Watanagashi, no. Gut spilling. So Wata, the other meaning is futon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's like futon, spilling.
Yes.
Like putting it down the river. Anyway, I'm understanding. I'm putting it together. I didn't think saying that could ever feel so nauseating.
Yes.
This is my favorite song on the soundtrack.
I remember this song from the last chapter.
It's as you imagine, Mebara-kun. Right now, the Watanagashi Festival might just be a somewhat early summer festival occurring every June, but it used to be different. It used to be a ghastly, cannibalistic feast held on the night the villagers had collected their unfortunate dinner.
That can't be true! I had no real reason to say that, but I couldn't help it.
Meibara-kun, you said that Watanagashi is a ritual about purifying futons, right? What do you think the futons filled with cotton with wata represent?
Futons are futons! They're beds! They're things for sleeping in!
What else could they possibly represent?
I was rattling on, desperately attempting to deny the horrible festival that Takano-san was describing. Deep down, however, I found myself understanding all too well what she meant. Futons, stuffed with cotton. If the cotton represented entrails in both pronunciation and meaning, then entrail-filled futons would have to be humans.
Why don't you think back to the offertory dance Rika-chan performed? Do you know what she was doing up there?
No, I don't. I didn't even watch the whole thing anyway. Oh.
Kei-chan, you're getting too worked up.
Shion grabbed one of my ears, reminding me that this wasn't somewhere I should raise my voice. Even so, I still can't suppress this agitation I feel.
Rika-chan was carrying a festival hoe. You've probably realized it already, but that's not a hoe for plowing fields. It's a tool for dissecting human bodies.
Ooh, CG.
I didn't see the dance all the way through, so I don't know what kind of performance Rika-chan was putting on after I'd left.
When I told this to Takano-san, she kindly explained Rika-chan's dance to me. To summarize what she said, after what I'd seen, Rika-chan would pierce the futons with that hoe, cut them open, and pull out the cotton inside. She'd cut the cotton out one bit at a time and set it afloat. That's the kind of ritual it was.
Broadly speaking, it was quite the bombastic ceremony where they'd rip out the guts and throw them into a basin, and then the ritual was over. It's thought that afterwards, the villagers, each with a different role, dismantled the flesh piece by piece and feasted upon it.
At Takano-san's strangely happy giggle, I felt, for some reason, violent displeasure. Rika-chan, every day, during our lunch break, she'd take a rice-pounding mallet into the schoolyard and she'd work so hard, sweating bullets, to practice for the offertory dance she had done today. All that effort, all that work. Takano-san disgraced it, even though she worked so hard to practice for today.
Son, I think you should choose your words more carefully. Kei-chan's pretty naive, so please don't tease him so much.
A moment before I opened my mouth to express how angry I was, Shion stopped me. Shion must have been fully aware of how that story made me feel.
I'm sorry. I thought you'd like a story with that sort of shock value since you're a boy.
And I'm sexist. Takano-san spoke without a hint of malice as she smiled gracefully.
After hearing all that, did you figure out what kind of stuff is in this storehouse, Kei-chan?
Fellas, is it gay to not like stories about disemboweling?
When you're 13.
You're 13.
See? Look.
Shion pointed out one of the walls.
It's always a great way to see if you're still in the chat space, just to go, fellas.
Shion pointed out one of the walls vaguely illuminated by the lantern's light. There was, mere moments ago, they hadn't held my interest. They were just boring-looking tools lined up on the shelves. All those uninteresting tools that I didn't understand how to use, they all suddenly took on a new meaning, and I couldn't help but let out a groan. At first they had looked like carpentry tools, like chisels or planes. However, when I thought back, I'd seen pictures of those sorts of tools before. Yeah, they came up in Japanese history textbooks. Yes, on the page introducing the Kaitai Shinsho, or the new text on anatomy.
Those sorts of things. They're printed realistically in the literature of Germany, capital of the medical world.
These aren't carpentry tools. These strangely shaped tools, they're for dissection. Everyone knows that in the Edo period they would dissect the corpses of those who had been put to death in order to gain knowledge about Western medical techniques. Illustrations of the dissection tools they used at the time came up in textbook supplements.
The things hung up on this wall all looked exactly the same as those. If you want a scarier way of looking at it, think of them as cooking utensils. Takano-san, holding the lantern, the only light source in the room, led us along the wall. She had the only light, so I had to walk after her, whether I liked it or not. Look. Takano-san illuminated a coiled chain which left a bigger impression than the other things we saw. The chain in itself was nothing unusual, but further along it were metal fetters that were like hinges, clearly meant for binding people.
Kei-chan? Look at that.
Shion tapped me on the shoulder and pointed to a restraining table that I've been pointing at this whole time. It was clearly shaped like a person. Yeah.
We can see it better than they can because of the light.
My spine froze. My blood felt like it was turning into sherbet as it crawled up my back. On each of the joints, there were things like chains and iron balls attached. It was like the table was searching for its next sacrifice, ready to spread their arms wide and close them in. It's probably a chopping block. I think you'd strap the sacrifice down to prep them for eating. The words chopping block sent a jolt through my body. When I looked more closely, there were many dark slices carved into it as though from a knife or a saw. Typo alert. Typo in the chat. They were the most clear-cut signs of usage you could ask for. It proved these tools weren't just for show. They were used for their original purpose. Honestly, seeing like a few typos in this like big name visual novel makes me feel better about having a few typos in my games.
Of course. Ryukishi started as a guy with like a team of himself and his friend.
Yeah, and this is also like technically kind of a remake, like revamped, and they still didn't catch those typos.
Typo in the video game, sink them into the bottomless swamp. Yeah.
God.
Sorry, Rikishi.
Sorry.
They're just the rules. You gotta go into the big swamp.
If someone was strapped tightly onto this table, they probably wouldn't be able to move even a muscle. Soup. Thanks for the soup. Their guts would be defenseless. You take one of those eerie cooking knives lined up over there and stab them with it, and then you slice open their belly and dissect them.
Yummy.
I had heard stories. This is incredible.
As per usual, cannibalism happens in a game, and I am weirdly very hungry right now. Before coming in here, Shion had mentioned she had a good guess of what was inside, but it seems to have exceeded her imagination. There's still more. How about it? More fascinating than a wax museum, isn't it? Takano-san had this happy expression like she was visiting a toy store for the first time. I don't get it. This Mio Takano person has nerves of steel. Are these bizarre, grotesque objects that fascinating to her? I, for one, was not enjoying myself. I'll be frank, this is all too weird for me. Still, there's something even more horrifying than all this. That would be none other than Takano-san herself. Takano-san holding the lantern, giving off such a thin beam of light. If she suddenly turned it off, then what would I do when the next moment everything went totally dark? That's why I was scared. Takano-san had the only light. And anyway, I was scared. At some point, Shion had started holding onto my shirt sleeve. It was a little annoying to walk like that, but I didn't shake her off. That minor sensation allowed me to feel the presence of an ally here and now. Before we had even walked halfway through the storehouse, the air I felt on my skin changed completely. These cruel tools lined up, all crammed together in this place. Some were horrible ones, made to take away sacrifice's freedom, and some were tools made to efficiently...
I am craving flesh.
Apparently, Moonpai is craving flesh. Some were tools made to efficiently disassemble and prepare the bodies for consumption. Those were just the things I understood. There were plenty of other strange-looking objects that I couldn't even guess the purpose of. Now that I was here, I didn't have the slightest desire to hear the details about what sort of terrifying reasons they were meant to be used for. At the very least, they were all completely different from the sort of clean, simple killing function of a katana. Tools to kill people were obviously constructed in such a way that they could kill people. that was the goal, then the person you use them on would obviously end up dead. Yeah, that's what that means.
People die when they are killed.
People die when they are killed. The kinds of tools here, however, were different. Tools that were here for cutting people, for crushing them, for boiling them and cooking them, and for grinding them. They were tools of torture. They weren't made to kill people. People dying was just an incidental result. Actually, they might not even kill them. If the sacrifices could die during such a horrifying ritual process, that would be nice, but they don't even die in the end. They remain in the state of hellish pain. Perhaps they were only being allowed to live. Only now in this moment did I fully realize just how terrifying and fearsome that difference was. People, you see. Most of these wouldn't kill them if used properly. Takano-san, as if reading my mind, displayed a shocking smile. Burning at the stake, the famous method of execution for witches, will kill the person immediately. When the body suffers extreme burns on the skin all over, the decomposition of the skin's chemical makeup produces poison-like symptoms and causes an immense shock to the victim. Though,
It's interesting.
I suppose, it's still very cruel. Compared to the guillotine, you have to wait far longer for that to happen. She described such horrors in a strangely medicinal way, or medical way. Shion immediately answered the question I had.
San is a nurse.
There's a saying that nothing can scare a doctor. I guess it's true. Oh, and also, there was a method of execution in ancient Rome where they would grill the person, just like a barbecue. They would cover the person in wire netting and slowly cook them over a charcoal fire. To think the memories of when I went to a day camp with my family would come rushing back now of all time so vividly. That's what it was like. Apparently, they wouldn't die too easily for some reason. According to one source, even if they roasted one side of a person to a crisp for an entire night, they would still be conscious and able to speak fluently. That's insane. You'd grill someone the whole day and they'd still be conscious. Said that ancient Rome, famous for their executions, thought of plenty of ways to execute someone while having the victim stay alive as long as possible. Among them, there was one method where they would open the gut, pull out the intestines like sausages, pull them up with a winch, and put them on public display. I'm with Takano here. This shit fascinates me, but I'm a weirdo. I'm a freak. Shion was behind me, clinging to me. Like, dead serious, when I was, like, younger, when I was, like, a teenager, I would research medieval torture devices, because I thought it was fascinating. But I'm a weirrow.
And now you're a vor artist. Just kidding.
No, I'm not!
I know you're not. I'm just kidding.
I've drawn, like, 2 pieces. Anyway.
I promise I'm just kidding.
Shion was behind me, clinging to me. Not just because she was scared. She was protecting her stomach.
You would think someone with their intestines pulled out would die instantly, right? Actually, as long as you do it tenderly and thoroughly, it's apparently possible to pull them all out while the person is still conscious.
Do you want to know the wildest part that Space has just reminded me of?
Mm-hmm.
Medieval torture methods was part of the curriculum when I was in school, when I was in primary school.
Whoa! That's radical.
Like, obviously they wouldn't go into, like, detail, but it was just like, well, this person was hung, drawn, and quartered when they died, and that meant this. And then, like, I remember, we didn't go on many field trips because we were a poor school.
Uh-huh.
But, there were definitely a few where we'd go to, like, old medieval castles and stuff, and we'd get shown the torture equipment.
Awesome! Oh, dude. That's so fucking cool.
It was just normal to us. It was just like, oh yeah, that's history.
That's history. There was... I think this was a medieval torture device. If y'all don't mind me, while we're in the weeds here, I think
info dump. Quick break.
I think this is this was one of my favorites, and it's really fucked up and gross, so I'm sorry. They had a cage with a rat in it. And,
oh yeah,
you know what I'm talking about. They would stick it to somebody's like stomach essentially, and it had like the bottom taken out. So that part was where they would stick it on somebody's stomach, and they would heat the other side. Moonpie's eaten. They would heat the other side, so the rat would be trying to get away from the heat, and the way that the rat would get away is they would burrow through your stomach. Awesome. Awesome shit.
Great.
It's great. It's awesome. It's so fucking cool. Anyway, this is like a weird, and I wouldn't say it's a special interest. Maybe when I was younger it was more of a special interest, but I don't know. Anyway, let's continue reading about torture. I felt
Also, yes, Takano has been info dumping for like an hour about torture to 13-year-olds.
Yeah, she sure has. Anyway, I felt a sick feeling in my stomach. Me as a 13-year-old would be like, yeah! Fuck yeah!
Let's fucking go!
Let's fucking go! It's like my organs were coiling up just from Takano-san's stare. Though pulling them out with a winch was a rather exaggerated method. In a more barbaric way, they might slice open the gut, then cut the intestines out and throw them everywhere. It's quite imaginable that they did dreadful things like that too, isn't it? Unimaginable, I think is what that said actually. However, those being put to death were conscious.
It is giving me a stomachache to think about this.
It's making me so happy. And I'm just like, man, I want to draw gore now. It must be far more terrifying than painful. She spoke with pleasure, as if she had come here on a sightseeing trip. I heard Shion gulping multiple times near my ears. Oh, stomach. See, my stomach is growling because I'm hungry. Talking about intestines.
You're a demon.
And I'm just like,
You're a demon of Hinamizawa.
I want some bratwurst. Ooh. Anyway.
Yummy.
Yummy. Perhaps Hinamizawa, or rather Onigafuchi village, did something like that for the Watanagashi festival. Listen, if you try hard, can't you hear it? I wanted nothing more than to not hear anything at all. I'm done. So why? Why only at times like these do I begin to hear things I shouldn't be able to?
Are you sure it's not MY stomach?
MY? Stomach? Yeah, Moonpie's eating right now. She's probably licking her bowl like a freak. Takano-san, having realized she'd scared Shion and I enough at this point, smiled soothingly. Then she
But
turned...
that's just a theory.
Then she turned on her heel, raised the lantern, and began to walk again. If Takano-san left us here, we'd get even further away from the light. Shion and I, no matter how scared we were forced to follow Takano-san along on our field trip through the ritual storehouse.
It's the worst part of this, that they're like forced to be here.
I suppose we've seen a bit of everything. See? This place is interesting, isn't it?
She says, raising the lantern high in the center of the storehouse. The dim lighting didn't change, but for some reason, it felt like I was able to see all of those horrible tools at once.
Ah! She genuinely jump scared me there. That was a real scream.
Kei-chan, look up.
Ooh, what's up? Shion stammered while grabbing the nape of my neck.
Ow.
I couldn't tell because it was so dark, but there was a lot more tools hanging from the ceiling as well. They all looked like they were made of iron bars, but then I figured it out. Cages. For cages, they were very small. Cramped cages, just for one, like a casket. If you got locked up in there... No, you wouldn't get locked up inside. There's another tool meant for restraining people, where the iron bars would squeeze you tightly. So many big and large things of all shapes were hanging down. Takano-san's mention of execution by grilling crosses my mind. We weren't just surrounded on all sides by these terrifying instruments. Things crowding the ceiling or even hanging over our heads. There are many of these sorts of bird cages among European torture devices. I'm surprised to see them in Japan as well.
Kei-chan, is there something in there? A person? A mummy?
Where? Shion desperately pointed to one of the many human-sized bird cages hanging from the ceiling, but I couldn't tell which one she meant. Being that dark, there wasn't any way you could tell if something was there in the first place. I don't see anything. You sure you're not seeing things? Shion didn't seem convinced, but without a means to confirm for ourselves, we couldn't do much but wonder.
Mibata-kun, after seeing this, have you come to believe in all of it? The countless terrible rituals passed down in Hinamizawa?
It's got nothing to do with believing in them. Now that I've been shown the real thing like this, there's no possible way to deny it.
Even the nations of Europe, with all their beautiful landscapes and legends, were like a maelstrom during the terrible witch hunts in the Dark Ages. It's well known that the era gave birth to countless gruesome forms of torture and execution. Japan was the same way. Didn't it have its own era of hellscape-like torturous feasts because of religious suppression and things of that nature? Hinamizawa itself had such a period. It had that much history behind it. Even in Europe, land of the witch hunts, it was all far in the past, no more than a series of historical events, and in this age, nothing that abnormal would ever happen. That must apply to Hinamizawa as well. Just as Europe had its dark age, Hinamizawa had one too. That's how this should be taken. Even if these things all really happened in Hinamizawa, they're all long past. They don't have anything to do with the people living in Hinamizawa right now. Sure. Mibata-kun, you really do like this village.
It sounded like she was making fun of me. Takano-san gave me a light smile.
Takano-san, you're researching whether those customs survived into the present. You are, right?
Shion suggested something that made my heart leap into my throat. Are you telling me that all these horrible things are still going on even today?
What I'm about to tell you is a secret, all right? I told you, Shion-chan, because you're an understanding person, but the other villagers don't want to hear it. If things go awry, I could be ganged up on and punished.
Shion flashed a devilish smile as if reveling in the immortality of it.
Mibata-kun, you keep it a secret too, okay? If this gets out, I could suffer Oyashiro-sama's curse, or be made into a sacrifice.
Haha.
If it's the curse, then I wonder what kind of death it'll be this year. If it's the sacrifice, then will I be thrown into the Onigafuchi swamp while still alive? It is tonight, you know. The night of Oyashiro-sama's curse.
Takano-san said, bringing her face right up close to ours, as if to say that if she had the choice, she'd rather suffer the curse. That was what she seemed to be implying. Takano-san took a fairly worn notebook out of her paper bag, then began to flip through its pages. There were all sorts of references and newspaper clippings attached to them, and it had all manner of things written inside. The letters were very small and bunched together, so I couldn't tell at a glance what it was about.
What I'd really like to do is search through the National Library for newspapers from the era, but here it is.
A photocopy of a page from some book was slid into the notebook, and it too was written in small, tight lettering. Like the other pages, I couldn't tell what it was about just by glancing at it.
This is a story that actually happened. It was around the end of the Meiji era. They discovered an unknown mangled corpse, the victim of a murder in Onigafuchi village.
An old newspaper clipping attached to the page spoke of something that was no mere rumor or fairy tale.
We don't have most police documents from the time anymore, so it's all based on oral traditions and memories. See, it's not very clear, but it looks like a cutout of a newspaper from the Meiji era.
Never before has there been a corpse treated with such cruelty and inhumanity. Could it be the work of a demon? Being a copy of a copy, it was very hard to make out, but it was more than enough to make me feel strangely tense. If I go away. Near the end of the Meiji era, in old Onigafuchi village, a mangled corpse was discovered. The identity of the corpse was unknown. It wasn't even in a state where it could be identified in the first place. It was missing a head, and each limb was separated from the body. Skin had been peeled off the entire body, and there were markings that implied terrible torture in every place imaginable. Not only that, but the belly had been cut open by a sharp knife with the entrails completely dragged out. The police immediately began an investigation, but since they couldn't even determine the identity of the victim, much less the criminal, finding answers was extremely difficult.
Do you understand what it must have been like?
I couldn't imagine such a strange sight, even if I tried. This was the first time I was ever thankful for my lack of imagination.
The victim was skinned while still alive, underwent all kinds of torture, and was killed brutally. The author here also thinks that even after death, the remains were divided and dissected even further, the epitome of inhumanity. I'm of the opinion that the entire process was performed while the person was still alive, though. What do you think, Mibata-kun? She spoke in a way intended to make me imagine even more vicious things. As my brain was already far over capacity, however, there was no way I could imagine anything more brutal. And when I broke my gaze from Takano-san's, those strangely shaped weird tools were all around us. I wonder if you could faithfully reproduce the mutilated corpse discovered at the end of the Meiji era with the tools found in this place. I want to deny it. I don't want to admit that something so terrible could have happened at all. Even so, they were so strange, so terrifying, these tools, and as if they had seen through my attempt to escape from them, they did nothing but ridicule me silently. So, that creepy incident, what was it in the end? The author says that, regarding Onigafuchi Village's dreadful customs, they've survived into recent post-Meiji days, and that perhaps they lasted until around the beginning of the Showa period. This corpse at a glance appeared to have been brutally killed after a period of torture. In actuality, however, it was the pitiful sacrificial remains of the man-eaters' terrifying feast. The corpse was just leftovers. It was so fantastic, so strange, that it didn't feel real. Was this an extension of the legends too? It happened in the Meiji era, though, which is just too recent to be called legend. Also, there's a newspaper clipping right here suggesting it. Okay, but even if it really happened, it was a long time ago, right? I mean, the Meiji era ended 100 years ago. That's all. Only 100 years ago. Besides, it kept happening even after the beginning of the Showa period. Like with the uproar around the post-war canned flesh incident. Oh, I apologize. That story was taboo, wasn't it? Takano-san immediately stopped talking as if worried about Shion. Shion briefly looked somewhat angry, but that expression soon disappeared. Huh? Takano-san, what did you just say? Canned flesh! What do you mean canned flesh? Just then, there was a huge noise. Everyone whipped around to look. It was Toмотaki-san, who had opened the door slightly.
Did I startle you?
One moment, I'm going to take a big gulp of water.
Do it.
I'm reading a lot. Ugh, okay. But I love reading for Takano. I love her so much. Oh,
she's awesome.
Jiro-san, could you not resist seeing inside? This is a splendid treasure trove of torture devices. Wow.
Sickos.
Just like me, for real.
I'll pass on that. I'm bad with this sort of thing by nature.
Takano-san held her stomach and had to muffle her laughter, as if she wanted to make a comment about his masculinity. Oh.
Fellas,
is it gay to not be interested in torture devices? Fellas.
In any case, the dance and ceremony are over and everyone's going down to the stream. The festival will be over within minutes.
Oh, that's no good. Mibata-kun is just such a good listener that I couldn't help telling stories.
I'd really rather you not mention me in a place like this.
Jiro-san, could you wait out front? I want to take a few pictures. There are actually a lot of tools I'd like to bring home, but we obviously can't do that.
Oh, I want to take the torture tools home with me.
Oh! Takano-san took a camera out of her paper bag and began to snap photographs. She looked like she was having fun, like she was on a scavenger hunt.
Keiji-kun, are you leaving too?
I've seen enough. Shion, you're good too, right? Let's get out of here. I want some fresh air.
I agree. Let's leave.
I did feel a bit of hesitation at leaving Takano-san by herself in the darkness. When I thought about it, though, I realized that whatever kinds of evil spirits and ghosts lurked in the darkness, none of them could have hold a candle to how scary she was. Even if a phantasm were to appear, she'd be overjoyed and flash her camera at it. Seemed like Shion shared my somewhat rude mental images. We exchanged glances and smiled painfully. We left Takano-san there, bathed in her strobe of camera flashes, and and decided to leave the ritual storehouse. B-sided. Moonpie, no. Everyone at the festival seemed to have gone to the stream, so their voices were very distant. The voices of the bugs, on the other hand, were clear, lending an empty feeling of isolation to the place.
Me.
That's my Higurashi impression.
I thought it was... The music is the sound of the bugs. This is what cicadas sound like sometimes.
Cicadas sound like, how would I describe this track? Like, Parisian cafe music.
Is that supposed to be an accordion? I think it's an
Yeah.
accordion. MIDI. Yeah.
How was it? Interesting?
Tomitake-san gave us a somewhat mischievous grin. He should have been able to tell by looking at how pale our faces were. I should have kept watch outside with you, Tomitake-san. Tomitake-san laughed so delightfully that it wiped away our dark feelings.
How did you fare, Shion-chan? Were you scared?
I was prepared for it, so I wasn't too afraid, but seeing the real thing was powerful.
She's doing her pitiful meows. She's doing them. Shion spoke like she wasn't scared at all. I didn't tell chat this, so I'll just do the short version. So, she has that treat toy, and now when she wants the treat toy, she goes like that, like she was earlier. Anyway, Shion spoke like she wasn't scared at all. She really had been quite afraid, but seeing how I was in way worse a state than her, I didn't have much room to talk. Tomitake-san grinned candidly. My mind, exhausted and locked up by nervousness, began to calm itself.
Sorry. People were asking me D&D questions.
It's all
Was
good.
Takano-san an adult about this little expedition? You know how she seems like a child sometimes. I was worried she'd be way too excited.
Both Shion and I laughed and left that as our answer.
Hopefully she was only looking at things. A merch will sneak something out of there or mess with the ritual implement too much and break it or something.
Right, that's quite possible. She is alone in there right now. She might pilfer something small and easily concealed, hiding it in her pocket.
Yeah, I can see that.
Shion said what I was thinking.
You sure she didn't break anything? I could clearly hear some noises like someone jumping up and down. I was getting pretty nervous.
I'm sorry. I ran out of film. Jiro-san, if you have any more, could I use some?
Takano-san suddenly appeared while we were talking about her, taking everyone by surprise. Tomitake-san smoothly grinned and responded as if nothing had happened. He's pretty mature.
I'm all out of spare film. Sorry about that.
Jeez. You won't win any Pulitzer prizes by not stocking enough film for any occasion, you know. I suppose that's it then.
Tomitake-san scratched his head apologetically. Without film, we're done here. Takano-san seemed to have given up because of that too. We checked carefully to make sure we hadn't left anything inside, then closed the door and turned to the heavy padlock we'd left beside it.
Takano-san, you didn't sneak anything out, right?
How rude. I'm trying not to be that childish. Kerclack! Tomitake set the padlock back to the way it was before. From a cursory glance, it didn't look like thieves had snuck in at all.
Okay. Let's get over to that stream ourselves. If we don't at least set some cotton afloat, there won't be any point in coming to the festival.
Tomitake-san spoke brightly, urging us all on. Setting cotton afloat down the stream, I shake my head a few times, driving away my dismal thoughts as to the double meaning. Takano-san, looking a little let down, kept turning back to glance at the ritual storehouse.
Oh, my ear's itchy.
I'm sorry.
Let's just leave it at that, alright? You saw enough to sate your curiosity, didn't you?
Who is that? The little cat head bobbing back and forth in the chat is killing me.
Oh, not at all. Everything I found only renewed my interest. All those stories and legends suddenly hold water. After today, I'm going to have to change the way I look at all this.
Wow, she's truly indomitable. Her curiosity really is something else. Still interested in all this, through and through. We descended the stone stairs, and all the people crowding the stream came into view. Near the bottom of the stairs, we could clearly see people receiving cotton that had been cut out for them, then wishing upon the cotton and setting it afloat down the stream. The festival was already over.
Damn. I don't know why my brain instinctively censored that. I missed my chance to photograph the best part of Watanagashi.
Oh, but it's not too late. I'm going to go and set some afloat. Perhaps you could take pictures of me?
Oh, that's me. Takano-san, with an impish expression, brought her head to Tomitake-san's shoulder. Despite his age, he looked embarrassed. I felt an honest respect for Tomitake-san, man to man, for dating such a handful of a woman.
Goodbye, then, my Barakun. Shion-chan.
We're going down to the stream. Would you like to come with us? No. I couldn't get in your way. Please take your time.
Shion waved her hand to them with an expression just as impish as Takano-san's.
They're gonna fuck in the woods.
They're gonna fuck! Tomitake-san, on his part, seemed to want us to come, but whatever. Shion gave a big stretch and sat down on the stone steps.
Oh, I'm pretty worn out.
Same here. I'm exhausted too.
Kei-chan, this is your first Watanagashi, isn't it? You go on, don't mind me.
I'm tired, so I'd like to stay away from the crowd.
Yeah, if we were to go now, we'd barely slip into the end of the cotton drifting ceremony.
My sister and your other friends might be looking for you, too. Go on.
Oh, yeah, right. They've been by themselves ever since we got separated. I'd feel bad if they were looking for me. Then Shion suddenly got a playful look on her face and put her index finger to her lips as if telling me to keep this a secret.
My sister's the type that gets really jealous. If she knew I was hugging you this whole time, she'd never let me hear the end of it. So keep tonight a secret, okay?
Keep tonight a secret. Don't say things that are so embarrassing.
Not only because of that, either. Considering what we were doing tonight, we really need to keep it a secret. Yashida-sama's curse might happen tonight, and we four would be the prime candidates.
The loosening threads of tension became taut again. Shion, however, burst out laughing.
Alright, I'm gonna go out of here before I run into my sister. I really am tired, so I don't have the endurance to put up with her anyway.
I can't tell if you get along with her or not. Definitely does not.
We get along.
Though as she said that, her vague expression explained that there are a lot of oddities in a relationship between twins. I'm an only child, so I don't really get it. Make sure you get along with her, okay?
Right. Thank you kindly for your meddling. Okay, I'm gonna go. You should hurry up if you want to make it, Kei-chan. Watanagashi really is about to end.
Shion stood up and brushed the dust off her backside. After watching her do so, I returned my eyes to the final ceremony of the Watanagashi festival below me.
Seriously, though. What was that sound, anyway? It was kind of unpleasant and creepy.
What sound? Huh? What sound?
The sound. You know. The banging noise. It was really loud, wasn't it?
I was giving her a blank expression, so Shion stared hard at me. I stared hard at her, too. Sorry, Shion. Could you give me the short version? What was making noise?
Wait, Kei-chan, it didn't bother you?
When all said and done, it was like we were speaking two different languages. Shion... Aw, damn it. This sus noise. Explain it to me without jokes from the beginning, will you? What's this about a noise?
Kei-chan, you quit joking around too. Really, honestly, it didn't bother you?
Neither of us was giving any ground, and both of us were staring at each other in disbelief. We were answering questions with more questions, with no sign of an actual conversation in sight. Baffled, I held in the urge to shout at her and ask politely one more time. I'm going to ask one more time, okay? I'll ask the questions. Shion nodded silently. Okay, here goes. You said there was a sound. What are you talking about?
The banging sound. It was like a kid was jumping up and down on floorboards somewhere far away. It really didn't bother you?
There was nothing to be bothered by. When did you hear this? I never heard anything.
Wait, Kei-chan, are you serious?
Okay, hang on. I gotta... Since we'll be probably wrapping up soon, I'm gonna hit the stop raids button, because I would feel bad if somebody raided while we were wrapping up. Anyway. Shion. As if she didn't understand, my plain and simple answer pressed me further, her expression serious. I have no clue what she's talking about, but if it has Shion acting so like this, whatever it was, it gave me the creeps and sent a chill down my spine.
It was while we were looking around the inside of the ritual storehouse with Takano-san. About the time she started her stories, I think it was. Little by little, louder and louder, off and on.
She heard a banging sound like a child jumping on distant floorboards. That can't be true. Don't start trying to scare me after all that. I didn't hear anything at all. In fact, it was so utterly silent in there that my own heartbeat was almost deafening.
Please don't try to scare me either, Kei-chan. It was like something was making noise in time with Takano-san's scary stories, and I was totally creeped out the whole time.
The chill rose from my spine to the back of my head. My blood turned cold as it crawled up my body. When it reached my head, my mind froze over.
You and Takano-san weren't paying any attention to it at all, so I pretended not to hear it either, but you heard it, right? It happened a bunch of times and it was really loud.
Shion's eyes were begging me to tell her I heard it. I had no doubt, however, that my own eyes suggested something entirely different. You've got to be kidding, look. In that storehouse, we were surrounded by brutal ritual tools that looked like they were from another planet, listening to the terrifying old stories. The whole time, Shion had been hearing a sound that we couldn't hear by herself. Should that make Shion, who heard it, tremble, or should it make me, who didn't hear it, tremble? I didn't know the answer to that at the time. For now, Shion seemed to have made that decision before I did. What are you laughing about?
I really got you, Kei-chan. I was fibbing the whole time.
Were you? What? Shion laughed, saying how easily scared I was, and clapped me on the back. Her smile seemed somehow artificial and actually made me feel worse. Then after leaving me with 2 or 3 generic diplomatic goodbye phrases, she left, almost like she was running away. All I could do was look after her, my mouth agape. At the end of the day, I didn't have a clue what was going on. Shion laughed it off and said she had been lying, but she couldn't possibly have been lying. Of course not. And now that I think back, Tomitake-san said the same thing, didn't he? Uh-oh.
I could clearly hear some noises, like someone jumping up and down. I was getting pretty nervous.
Tomitake-san, the most neutral party present at the time, had said he'd heard something. Then, that noise, it was real? The banging sounds as though a child was jumping up and down on some kind of floorboards far away. Oyashiro-sama's curse, which happens every year, might happen again tonight. The most plausible victim candidates were Takano-san, Tomitake-san, dust, Shion, and me. The bustling of the people sounded further away than I would have liked, and the sounds of the insects sounded too close for comfort. I'm near so much human warmth, and yet I can't ever go back there again. That was the ominous idea that sprouted in my mind. Then, all of a sudden, I was pounced on from behind, causing my heart to lurch. Rika.
Keiichi, we found you.
It was Rika-chan. When I turned around, Mion and Rena were there too.
We finally found you. Now we just need to find Satoko.
Got split up here. We should make sure we have somewhere to meet up afterwards next year. How?
You're right. It's a festival, so So we should all be together. I listened to Mion's happy declaration with a little bit of guilt.
Keiichi, did you root for me while I was dancing?
Yeah, I saw it all. All of it. You did a great job all the way through. No mistakes either. She doesn't believe you.
Yeah. That's right, Mika-chan. That didn't count as a mistake.
Uh-oh. I tensed up as I realized I'd made a mistake of my own. Mion slapped a hand onto my shoulder a little roughly. A gross sweat broke out over my whole body.
Did you do it too, Kei-chan? Did you get some cotton and send it down the stream?
You haven't yet, right? Is what I could feel her saying. Without the courage to tell any more lies, I lifelessly shook my head.
Huh? You haven't, Keiichi-kun? You should go now or it'll be over. It'll be over?
Sorry, this is my first Watanagashi, so I don't really understand the rules and stuff.
That's right.
I'm sorry. Mion took my hand and we started walking down the stone steps. Hey, Kei-chan. What?
Did you see Shion?
My heart skipped another beat. Maybe Mion could sense my surprise through my hand. No, well, I sort of think I saw her. You two look so alike, though, so I thought it might have been you. It might have been you. You wouldn't have gotten that wrong. We're wearing different clothes. Oh, that's right. Mion's momentary silence was like a death grip upon me.
I just can't do anything about that Shion. Well, it's her we're talking about, so we can just leave her be.
Mion's expression returned to her former, usual smile, and we continued down the stone steps, her firmly pulling my hand along. Yeah? Yeah? Is that the end?
Oh boy!
Oh boy, buddy, boy, boo, howdy. Boy, fucking howdy. Oh. 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 Oh my god. No, it was funny. Like an hour ago, I was like, oh, this is probably going to wrap up soon, and we might not be able to read another chapter, though. And then it went 30 minutes past 3, and I was like, well.
It happens, we can wrap up now, though.
We could. Are the tips important?
The scrapbook ones are.
Okay, we can save that for next time. These ones.
Yes.
I have this.
But if you remember, Takano had a scrapbook that she was reading from.
Yeah, that's what I
Storehouse.
figured it was from.
Her fucked up little Necronomicon over there.
Fuck, man. Okay. What? Okay, you can't say anything because you already know. And also people who already know, don't tell me. My theory.
I'll kill you.
My theory is, the people who heard the noise are about to get fucked. Tomitake and Shion. It's especially interesting that the last, cycle, we went through this. Tomitake and Takano were the ones who got fucked over. Tomitake died. Takano got demoned away. Shion was nowhere in the last timeline loop, whatever.
She was not in the story whatsoever.
She was not in the story, so... And she's also from Okinomiya, or whatever it's called.
Yes.
So, I'm having a feeling that she's going to be the sacrifice, or something like that. Obviously, do not confirm or deny. If you know, but I have a feeling next time we play, we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. And next Monday, we're not gonna be playing this. I'm gonna be doing something else.
Eternal sadness.
I'm sorry. I have other plans. But I'm gonna just switch to the ending screen. We're gonna do that.
the next stream will be an art stream. I'll be working on art, and we'll be doing media shares again, and it'll be more organized because now I have it set up better. But the week after next, we will get back to it, unless something else comes up. But
Did everybody enjoy Takano's 2-hour-long info dump to children about horrible, horrible things?
I sure did. But I'm a weirdo. I'm like Takano. Leg of leg. I'm looking for who to raid. There's Silta, who I have not raided in a long time.
Thanks for coming, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
We got a whole video essay from that weird-ass nurse. That's so true.
We sure did. Yeah, you know what? Let's raid Silta Gamer. Silta is playing Days Gone, which seems fun. And I never get to raid Silta because I don't usually stream this time of day.
Yeah, Tomatake Himble.
Yeah.
Buff man.
Buff man.
Have a good day, everybody.
Yeah, I am just getting the raid ready. I'm excited. Later, taters. Later, taters. Let's go.
I'm exhausted.
Same.